I'll call this Bang Bang. Seriously?
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Pull up, bitch.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up.
Objection. Objection.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. KO. Bang bang.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up.
Bang, bang.
Right?
Yeah.
The bang bang, the bang bang, pull up. The bang bang, the bang bang.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
All right, Mr. Lally, your next witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor, the Commonwealth calls Trooper Michael Proctor to the stand. Please state your name and spell your last name for the jury.
Michael Proctor, 𝗵𝗄𝗆𝗄𝗃.
You're a bitch, bro.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
I will fuck you up. I will beat your ass. I will fuck you up.
I'm going to allow it.
Bang, bang.
Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508 is where I'm from.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night. Let us know in the comments right now where you reppin'.
𝗵𝗵𝗆 Junction, Taunton, Worcester, Long Island, Manchard, South Florida, Webster, Malden, Framingham, Tucson, Wichita, 𝗺ി Salem, Gloucester, Moosop, Connecticut, Charleston, South Carolina, Roslindale, Moosop, Connecticut, London, Hanson, Glendale, Arizona, Lynn, Mapleville, Quincy.
Food stands, leave it closed, buddy, and date. Then we're screwing up the
funny ass guy, man.
508.
Have you ever heard of Turtleboy? Yeah? Are you a fan?
508 is where I'm from.
Hey, what's up?
508 is where I'm from.
How was that?
You a freaking idiot. Stop telling people that I'm mentally deranged and stupid.
Call me Aidan. He's not a doctor, but...
Get out of my store, please.
You're a fucking loser.
You are a loser.
You're not a journalist. You're nobody. I'm not turtle hair. Don't make such fun of the criminal justice system.
NFL on the house, blog that.
Let's get this party started.
And I will not be intimidated. I will not be silenced. And we will continue on our journey for justice for John O'Keefe and for Karen Reed.
Tick, tick, boom. Noise. Go, baby, we bringing out toys. Boys, chop up a thing, it should be on the voice. Bang, bang, we gon' ride out. Gang, gang, we don't die out. Want it like this, ain't no timeouts. Tell me who really gon' find out.
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets.
Karen Reed has supporters who've shown up in large numbers.
Tick, tick, boom.
Hard body, and not scaring nobody. You make me resort to wildin'. You must be blind by the diamonds. I didn't want it to be this way, but y'all won't need to try this. So it's no way around it. You the loudest one, it's going quiet. We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ape, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
This is the first time I think I've ever seen this. An outpouring of support for someone accused of murdering a Boston police officer. Unbelievable situation. Never seen anything like it.
Tick, tick, boom. You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me? You can't stop me, so who gon' stop me?
We be disturbing the peace. Working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep. It's go, 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 go time.
Tick, tick, boom.
Boom. What's up, people? How's everyone doing out there tonight? Good, good, excellent. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your fearless host. My name's Aidan Kearney. You can call me a variety of names, Clarence Woods Emerson, if you'd like. You could call me Uncle Turtleboy, old school turtle riders and known to do that. You can call me what else? You can call me Dr. Turtleboy if I'm being dead serious. That's actually my preferred pronoun is doctor. So I do appreciate when people see me out in the streets and they call me doctor. You can call me daddy. I understand that can be a little bit weird for people, but you know, that's what Brian Tully calls me. So, you know, I'll allow it. If you insist on that, I will allow it. I definitely won't punish you for that. I also won't mandate it because I know that can be a little bit weird. I get it. You could call me 𝗃𝗵𝗃𝗃𝗃. That's my true crime name. When I put on my leather jacket and I go deep into the woods and just kind of get into my thoughts, and then, you know, mysteries just solve themselves when I do that. So journalism Jesus, if you will, if you know, if you're a religious type, I don't care what you call me. Just be here every Tuesday and Saturday night, usually Saturday night at 9 p.m. and make sure you smash that subscribe button. How many subscribers are we up to now? We're up to let's see. We got 106,572. Let's go. Let's make it 107. Let's do it. Might as well. But yeah, so make sure you're doing that. And it's Sunday. You may notice it's not Saturday tonight. It's Sunday tonight. I had a wedding last night. My sister got married. We went to this place in Westboro, right by where I bought my car, actually. Well, I actually paid for my car. It wasn't a gift from the Reed family, I swear to God. And yeah, I saw a whole bunch. It's like crazy. I go out in public now. It's like everybody there wants to talk. It's awesome. Turtle riders everywhere. You find people. Talk to some people about stuff. Talked about the case with some people that pulled me aside. Even like, you know, it's funny, you know, my sister married a really nice guy, and I'd never met his friends or family or anything like that before. It's like kind of first time meeting him, you know, and I'm standing there and it's like the best man's a turtle rider. Like all the, everybody, his friends kept coming up to me. What they didn't want, they were like, one girl comes up to me. She's like, so how are the, she wanted like, can we put on the Bruins? And I'm like, the Bruins suck. The Bruins are like trying to lose. They've lost like 8 in a row. They're not even trying. And she's like, I don't know. I just wanted an excuse to talk to you. And so we started shooting the shop. Oh, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. But, you know, is the mic not working? Somebody says the mic is not working. All right. Hopefully it works. But anyway, move my phone. Is it all staticky? Bad static. Okay. I'm going to put my phone over there. Sometimes that does it. Let me know if the static is the worst. It kills it. I don't know why you put the phone near this. They can't figure out that technology, I guess. But yeah, I don't like the crackling, snap, crackle, pop. But anyway, it was a good time. So we're here Sunday. Next weekend, I will not be doing the show on Saturday night. I'll be doing it Sunday night as well, because we have Canton Trivia, round 2 of Canton Trivia. Getting close. I think we have like 200 tickets for sale. We're getting close to selling out. So it's a fundraiser for the Turtleboy Legal Defense Fund, because I got problems too. Not just Karen Reed. I got charges myself. You know, not murder or anything like that. But actually, I'm facing more years in jail than her. And I've done more time than her. She's done 2 nights in jail. I've done 60. Actually 59. 60 days. 59 nights. Okay. But it felt like an eternity. And I still can't believe I'm here after that scare I got like a week and a half ago. I can't believe that. Like fucking smiling in a camera. They almost tried to lock me up with a straight face, like evil, these people. But either way, it's fucking scary, man. I got to clean my act up, you know, clean my act up. and straight, kind of keep on the straight and narrow here, because this is too important, man. I got too much on the line. Mostly my family, like my kids need me. That's kind of a big thing. But also like the trials coming up, and that would really suck to be locked up for that. But anyway, what else was I saying? Let's see, is it fixed? Move your phone. Okay, it should be fixed. Okay, cool. Out here committing window intimidation. I know. Clean your whole act up. You get the reference there. That's it. That's a Wire reference. That's Slim Charles said that. But all right. Anyway, yeah. So there's that. So yes, go get your. I've shared them on social media. I'll continue to share it. It's in Spencer at the Spencer Country Inn at 8 p.m. next Saturday night. Now I know I've crapped on the town of Spencer a lot. If you're new here, it's a town in central Massachusetts, west of Worcester. Everything to the east of Worcester in central Mass is like, that's where the Indians live. That's where things are nice. Shrewsbury, Westboro, it's at Northborough, all that shit. Then you go west of Worcester and things are a little different. And Spencer is one of those towns. It's kind of, it's seen better days, but it has lovely lakes. It has a lot of lakes in Spencer. But I used to always tell people to meet me at 𝗏𝗂𝗃 if they wanted to fight me. High Noon is this department store in downtown Spencer that I used to tell people to meet me at. But anyway, yeah, so go if you want to get those. It's going to be fun. Canton Trivia was a blast last time, and it's kind of a good warm up for the trial, because guess what? This shit's starting soon. Can you guys believe it? Again, can you believe this shit? 2 days. In 2 days, we're going to be picking a jury, and I'm going to be in the courtroom, hopefully. Unless Spanky Brennan tries to pull a fast one on me, I will be in that courtroom on Tuesday because I was picked in the randomizer that I get to be in the court as media. I'm a credentialed journalist, member of the media, upstanding, all that stuff. So I will be watching the jury selection process. Now, the jury selection process is a little boring. Like, you don't get to do it. No cameras, obviously. They herd in. They actually start across the street at the Registry of Deeds, and they bring in like a batch of them, like 150 jurors, people, and they march them across the street. I remember last year I was like filming, and the state police came over. They're like, "No filming the jurors." I'm like, "Bro, we're out in public. I can't freaking film. What are you talking about? Like, what is Gestapo shit?" And have you guys seen, you get the buffer zone shit? You got to see the buffer zone. Chrissy Mello was down there getting some pictures for me to check this out, dude. We need to figure this shit out about what we're going to do down there. Cause they're not going to stop us. They're not going to pull this up. One moment. So this is up. This is what it looks like. This is, I believe it's High Street in Dedham. They put like a actual metal sign here. Entering buffer zone. So like free speech stops existing here. Now, I don't know what that means. And then this is the other side of it. Okay. So does that mean we can set up here? Like, people, you can't block the sidewalk. I forget what we did last. I mean, people are going to come either way. And also, like, can you believe this shit? In America, this is what it looks like. So, like, what are we going to, we need a plan. We need a plan. So I'll be scoping that shit out. I don't know. It's people are going to show, like, what are they going to do? I mean, we have to go somewhere. People have to go somewhere. I don't think they've thought this one through. And honestly, this makes people want to come more. Come one, come all. All right. Be there every day if you want, or just towards the end, whatever you want to do. But it's going to be nicer. Yeah, I know exactly. Like, Erica's going to figure shit out. Erica ran this shit last year. She had a truck out there every day. I don't know. They're going to try some shit. They're going to try to make life very difficult for us. They're not going to let us park. 𝗺𝗿𝗺 is going to be on his fucking, we're not going to like 𝗺𝗿𝗺 this time around. 𝗺𝗿𝗺 and his crew, I call them my babysitters. They are wherever I go. I have my own personal babysitters at the state police that go wherever I go. It's 𝗺𝗿𝗺 and crew. And, you know, I have no problem with the rest of them. They're fine. Except one guy. It's kind of a douchebag to me once. But, you know, the rest of them, they're fine. But 𝗺𝗿𝗺 is kind of scares me. Like, cause he can just, he'll arrest you. He's just mean. He's got no personality, you know, and he's a cop. He can just arrest you. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't want to go to jail. So, you know, I'm good. I'm way too pretty for jail. Can't go back. So anyway, so 𝗺𝗿𝗺 and company will be down there. So, you know, they're going to be on their game too about like letting shit, but like, how can they stop you? Like I remember last year, even with the buffer zone, people walk around, you know, you're allowed to walk on a public street. So I don't know what this means. Like what constitutes a protest? If you're just milling around and walking around the front of the courthouse, like, what are they going to say? Like, can you not wear a Free Can't Read shirt outside the courthouse? Like what? How does that make any sense? How does that make any sense? I don't get it. But, anyway, we'll see. We're going somewhere. Like they're not going to stop us. So we'll get a good layout on Tuesday of this all. Like I said, they heard the jurors in from across the street, and then they bring like 150 of them in there. They sit them all in the courthouse, and they call them up one by one. The press sits there, and they call them up one by one. They've filled out their questionnaires. Okay. And so they're going through them. Karen Reed's a very active part of her defense team. They're going through the questionnaires, seeing like, you know, can I do this? Like, can I be impartial in this case? Blah, blah, blah. And, you know, you've seen the jury questionnaire. A lot of people are going to be eliminated real quick. And then they bring them up one by one and they ask them questions. And, you know, the longer they're up there, the more likely they are to be picked by a juror. But last year I didn't see him pick a single juror for my limited time in there. I saw one lady go up for like 20 minutes and I'm like, oh, they're definitely picking her. They've spent all this time. Then she's just dismissed. So we'll see. This jury is going to take 3 weeks to get picked. That's my guess. And then we'll get started again. And first witness is up. If it's like last time, if I wonder, are we doing this all over again in the same order? Does Paul O'Keefe go first again? Because I hope he does. Because I have some questions. I hope the opening question to Paul O'Grift is, sir, have you had anything to drink today? Sir, are you under the influence of alcohol right now? That has to be the first question. Sir, did you testify at the last trial? Did you tell anyone that you testified? Sir, what is the signal today? Is there a signal today to the 𝗃𝗄 from New Jersey? Do you have a signal for her? Okay, just making sure. And then Erin O'Keefe. Erin O'Keefe has not been seen since I published the article showing that her husband is sending secret signals to his online girlfriend in topless photos and saying that he wants to come together with her, like 𝗄𝗵, and make glazed donuts. So Erin O'Keefe has not been seen. Now, there are rumors, by the way, not to go off on a tangent here, but there's some rumors about some flipping going on, all right, on the other side of the aisle, right? Because you guys might have seen the latest Bederow letter. We're going to go over that today. And there's rumors that, you know, somebody's trying to cut a deal because there's some shady shit going on. So there's some shady shit going on. So first to come forward gets the deal. I mean, I hope they all know how that works. And I'm just saying, nobody's heard from Erin O'Keefe in a long time. That's what my sources are telling me, that she has disappeared from the other side ever since my article apparently is caused some division in that camp. So we'll see what Erin O'Keefe's testimony is like in trial 2. And they'll probably blame me for that. Oh, he intimidated her and influenced her testimony. I'm sorry that her husband is in love with a woman he never met before and is sending her really awkward topless bathroom selfies and telling her that, he would like to come with her together or whatever the fuck he said. He would like to have a come, I guess. Would you like to come, miss? Would you like to come? And he professed his love to this woman. We don't need to go over all that again. But I'm just saying, first to flip gets the deal. I hope they all know that. But and we may have we may have somebody flipping. We'll see. Anyway, so as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh yeah, we're gonna get to the Bederow letter. We're gonna get to my latest hearing, all that shit in the show tonight. But if you guys, so they'll pick the jury. It's gonna be cool. I don't know how the trial's gonna go. So I guess we got to sit through all these firefighters again. To me, but we're gonna be. Hopefully they cut that. Hopefully Spanky doesn't do the what if anything shit. That delayed everything. And hopefully he's just quick and to the point, but they both have advantage this time around. Like Spanky knows what the defense is going to critique about these people. Right. And the weakness of the firefighters, they're all being brought on. 3 of them are being brought on to say that Karen said, I hit him. Now this time around, they have so many pictures of Katie McLaughlin that they didn't have last time. All those pictures of Katie McLaughlin partying with Caitlin Albert, those didn't come out till after. Like I had some of them, but I didn't have all of them. Like the baby shower one. Like there's some new ones. So she's going to she can't do the we're acquaintances thing. That's not going to work. It's not going to work. And they need to establish with these firefighters, right, that none of the other ones heard him say this. Heard her say, I hit him. The first one, the nexus of I hit him was Katie McLaughlin. And she was produced on January 30th. Why her? Why, of all the firefighters were there, why do you want to talk to this broad? Right. And Kevin Albert is the one that set it up. So I hope they grill her about that. So Kevin Albert got in touch with you and Kevin Albert put you in touch with Michael Proctor. So we'll see. They just need to eliminate. I hit him. Get on that. It never happened. It was complete bullshit. It's not on film. It's not in any dash cam videos. The time when Katie McLaughlin said that it happened was actually she said that it was when she was standing there with a woman who she didn't know the name of, Jen McCabe, Karen Reed, and another officer, Seraph, the fat fuck. And that they were all standing there. And that's when she said it. So they have, and she said at that moment, John was, I forget if she said he was in the ambulance or something, but the video shows that he hadn't been wheeled into the ambulance yet at that point. We're going to relive it all. The puffy jacket. Oh, remember the puffy jacket? That guy, Nuttall's going to come on. He's going to love the sound of his own voice again. And that Flamati fucker. Oh, that motherfucker. I hate that guy, that smug little bitch. So we're going to hate all these people all over again. I'll be paying more attention this time. The parts that I zoned out in during the trial last time were like, who was the most boring witness in the entire trial? Low key. The second doctor that went. You guys remember that? He was a low talker. He had like an accent. I don't even remember his name. He was the dumbest witness ever. I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this guy? I don't even understand the point of Dr. Rice was, what he added to anything. I don't understand. But I also didn't really pay attention that much to the crime scene lab people. I was too caught up in 𝗄𝗄𝗄𝗃. I didn't know what pronouns to use. And then the others, so I'm going to pay more attention to that, about what they say about when the tail lights came in, the processing and all this shit. So going over all that. Will Mr. Proctor be testifying? That's the question. Let's just do a poll question right now, shall we? I'm going to do a poll question. Start us off with a poll question. Start a poll. Okay. We need to brand this Karen retrial. Okay. So I'm wording this carefully. Will Karen Reed be called by the Commonwealth? Because we know if the Commonwealth doesn't call her, the defense is going to call him. He's going to talk one way or another. Talk, motherfucker. But will it be the Commonwealth that calls it? Because I'm sure Hanky has looked into this. Hanky does not want him reading those text messages again. He's going to try somehow not to let those get brought into evidence because those were disastrous. Those text messages, those were disastrous. Restart the poll. Why would I restart it? There's over 1,000 votes. Will Michael Proctor be called by the Commonwealth to testify at the Karen retrial? 53%. We have 1,300 votes in now. 53% of you say no. No. That's pretty close, man. That's pretty close. That looks so bad if they don't call him, though. That looks so bad. Where is the poll? Is that a real? It's at the top of your YouTube thing. You can just click on it. All right. Oh, 51%. Wow, this is fucking close, dude. This is close. And by the way, I got to start Ratchet Madness again. We're having Ratchet Madness is going to be Canton. Second year in a row. It's going to be all Canton people. We've never had a back-to-back winner. 𝗃𝗵𝗂𝗃 might do that. She might. But we're going to have some new additions this year that weren't in Canton Trivia last year. So, you know, I think that Higgins is a lot stronger of a seed than he was a year ago. Like a lot of people have moved up. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay. All right, cool. So if people want to have their messages read out loud to the class tonight, we don't have super chats because I had the wrong opinion about the vaccine mandate a couple years ago. And which is no biggie because those crooks take 40% anyway. So, oh, dude, that's a good question, K-Wags. Will Jen McCabe have her tooth fixed for the second trial? Will she do something? Like, I can't believe she went on national television with a fucking tooth missing. Like, seriously. I thought she was way more vain than that. Like, I know this bitch ain't going on TV with a missing tooth. I know this motherfucker. Like, this woman, she went on TV with a goddamn missing tooth. You can't get something. You can't get, even George Washington could throw a piece of wood in there or something. Like, you can't. Seriously, Jen McCabe? Like that's what she's doing? And that's not to her. I'm not, you're talking to her. No, I just want to know if she's going to get the tooth fixed. Like, even Marv from freaking Home Alone, he got a gold filling. Can somebody hook this woman up? I cannot watch her whistle again, her way through testimony. It's very distracting. It's very distracting. Yeah, we need the whole tooth and nothing but the tooth, Jet. That's all we need from that woman. Okay. Anyway, so if you guys want to have your messages read out loud to the class, we built our own platform called Turtle Chat. You can click at the link at the top and you can give whatever money, pay whatever amount of money you want, and I will read your message out loud to the class. Let's see what we got so far. Okay. And please save me your conspiracy. If you send in a theory about what you think happened in the case, I will read it if you're paying. I will not talk about it. I will not comment on it. I will do my bare minimum just to read it because you paid. I will not. And I don't, people message me all the time. Don't message me with your theories. I don't care about your theories about what you think happened inside 34 Fairview Road. Go on the justice page and do that, or message Sean of the Gulf. He'll listen to you. All right. Miss H. Mishgold sends $10, goes, "It is T-shirt girl from England. Excited I caught a live and Bederow letters. Remember, you're an international doctor. The United Kingdom stands with Turtleboy." Well, thank you very much, Miss H. Hopefully I see some of you fine Brits outside the courthouse like I did last trial. Naomi sends $10, goes, "There is a theory I heard that jury summons were specifically sent to precise individuals." Okay. That it's not random. That is why Bev pushed so hard to start promptly on 4-1. What are your thoughts? This is not worth investigating. My thoughts are I'm immediately moving on to the next Turtle Chat. So I have zero interest at all in your theories. I appreciate the $10, but I don't do that. I don't do like, whoa, like I bet you this is a big scam. They're going to send in, they're already rigging. Come on, bro. you guys don't go off the deep end with this shit. It's really simple. It's really simple. John O'Keefe went to this house shit-faced. Some people there had a problem with him. Brian Higgins, Colin Albert, Brian Albert. Walks into the house. Everyone's drunk. Start talking shit. Fight breaks out. Dude hits his head on, either gets hit in the back of the head with the blunt object, or what I think more likely happened, he falls down, hits his head on a step at a bad angle. That's a sharp thing hit his fucking head. It's a big gash in the back of his head. Something did that. And don't even tell me it's the fucking ground, because the ground is harder than a rock. If they say that, I am going to fucking laugh out loud. And they're actually going to say this in court. Bring it on, Spanky. Bring it on. Harder than a rock. But so it's really simple. He went in the house, got in a fight, accidentally got knocked the fuck out. Oh shit, he's dying. Fuck, what do we do? She leaves. And they're like, okay. They spend an hour before everyone leaves. And they just say, we're going to take care of this. Okay? That's it. We're going to put him out there. We're going to say he never came in the house. That's it. That's the whole fucking conspiracy. It's just that fucking simple. And people like asking me, like, why would they put him on the front lawn? This dude yesterday at the bar in Westboro asked me, he's like, well, what if he was out there and then they let the dog out to go pee and the dog bit him out there? I'm like, bro, there's a fucking fence in the backyard. You see that white thing behind me that's called a fence. That's where the dog go. Why would they release the dog in the front yard so the dog can run away? Why? What? You can't be fucking serious right now. Also, the McAlberts all testified that the dog went into the backyard. So unless you're calling them liars, I don't know, because God forbid we call the McAlberts liars. I don't know. So it's really not that complicated. A bunch of people accidentally killed the dude. They didn't want to go to jail. They couldn't chop the body up. They couldn't put him on. They knew that they were fucked. They couldn't just be like, I don't know where he is. John O'Keefe's just missing now. Like, what the fuck were they going to do? Incinerate his body? What were they going to do? His body had to be found. There had to be a body. They can't just get rid of the fucking body. Like, let's be realistic. They ain't chopping somebody up at 4 a.m. Not even Brian Albert's doing that. This isn't the fucking mafia. These are a bunch of over the hill, piece of shit, drunken Cantonians. That's it. This isn't the goddamn mafia. And they're well connected, and they just fucking put them out there and be like, I don't fucking know. Like, that was the plan. And they're like, why would they do that? It wouldn't work. Because it worked. That's why they fucking did it. Because it worked. Like, what aren't people getting about this? They're like, that sounds far-fetched. That could never work. But it literally fucking worked. Dude, she got arrested. It fucking worked. What? It worked until it didn't work. You know? And by that point, by the time when they kind of figured this out and started putting it out there, it was too late. The Commonwealth and the state police were too committed to this shit. And it's just the blue protecting blue at that point. Michael Proctor is definitely in on it, right? So Proctor knows something's, or he gets the call from whoever, his sister, who the fuck cares? And it's like, look it, Colin's in a jam. This is all about Colin. Colin's in a jam. You gotta help him out. He's a good kid. It was an accident. That is the most believable fucking story ever. How is that not believable? That a bunch of meatheads who were drunk bunch of meatheads drunk, get into a fight. It goes wrong accidentally. They don't want to go to jail. So they fucking put him out there, and they're like, well, make sure Proctor's the fucking in charge of this. We know, well, my sister knows the guy. Brian's like, it's fine. My brother, good friends with a state police detective at the Norfolk County DA's office. We'll be fine. We'll be good. We'll be all set. Everything's going to be fine, hun. Everything's going to be fine. And don't worry, they're not going to come in here. Lanka's not coming in here. They're not coming in here. They knew what it's just that fucking simple. It's not that goddamn complicated. They act like this is like some complicated conspiracy. It's not. It's not. I mean, it's actually kind of juvenile. Like, there was no taillight found there at 7 a.m. by the Canton Police Department. It's on video. And then taillight gets found 11 hours later. A whole bunch of it. 4 pieces to be exact. And then 43 more pieces are found in the upcoming weeks. So it's like the only actual framing that had to go on here was the putting the taillight there. That's the only thing that they proactively had to do, was make sure, put some taillight there. That's it. As far as the hair, I don't give a fuck about the hair. That could have been there for the whole time. That could be John Q's hair. It doesn't fucking matter. It's a fucking piece of hair. Doesn't mean anything. All right. Although I highly doubt it stayed on the car for 80 miles. I don't give a shit if it did. If it did, it did. If it didn't, it didn't. It's a fucking piece of hair. It proves nothing. Who cares? Right? The taillight piece is the only actual evidence that fucking matters. And that shit wasn't there at 7 a.m. So riddle me that. To me, it's just the most logical thing ever. There was no taillight there at 7 a.m. Period. So she couldn't have done it. Period. And from that point, it's just Proctor lying in police reports here and there, saying he never spoke to the plow driver doesn't plow Fairview Road. Oh yeah, I towed the car at 5:30. Just cut. That's it. That's it. It's just Proctor. It's all Proctor. Bukaki and Tully and all them, they, in case you haven't seen in those text messages, they have a bro culture. They're not gonna reprimand him. Are you kidding me? They're gonna back each other up. You guys remember at one of the first hearings I went to on May 3rd, 2024, 2023, rather. I go there and like these coneheads all show up. It's Patrick McNamara, his name, head of the state police union, and Luke Bonin and 2 of his other goons. And they show up there with their shaved heads. They actually stood in the aisle, and McNamara had just written this press release saying Michael Proctor's a great detective. It's been taken down since then. But, it's this knee-jerk reaction of the state police to everybody I meet knows Karen Reed's innocent, except for apparently in the state police, they're literal retards. We are being governed by retards. That's not all. Not everyone in the state police is a retarded. Just the ones retarded enough to think Karen Reed did this. Because again, this is a retard test. I've said this from the beginning. If you look at those goddamn autopsy photo pictures and you're like, oh yeah, hit by a car, you're retarded. You are fucking retarded. Literally, every short bus fucking kid could look at those fucking pictures and realize that dude wasn't hit by a bus. That's it. We cannot be governed in police by retards. Apparently we are, though. It's a problem. It's a real problem. Like when this is all said and done. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, I guess my point here is it's not that complicated. And so that, I guess what I was saying is that we don't need to go off on these deep ends about, are they fucking are they stacking the jury already? Like, bro, that's what makes it sound crazy saying shit like that. No, I think it's really stupid. I think it's really simple. They killed a guy in a house accidentally, left him out there, and she didn't know what the fuck was going on. They took advantage of that, and there we go. Pin it on the girl. It's that simple. But anyway, next one. Holly sends $25, goes, April 1st is a good day to find Karen Reed not guilty. 25 years ago, this April 1st, I was diagnosed with MS, and I know Karen has MS too. Well, God bless you, Holly. And you're still at 25 years later, still kicking it. Glad to see you. Thank you very much. North Shore Mom sends $5, goes, how about doing a fundraiser at Kowloon? P.S. Bederow must attend. I would love to do a fundraiser at Kowloon. I know 𝗵𝗿𝗃𝗃's got some connects there, so maybe we can make that happen. Jeanette sends $25, goes, thanks to Rich, Stephanie, and all the fun and friendly people that held signs over 495 in Tewksbury today. We saw an incredible amount of support out there. The honking was steady for 2 hours straight. Thank you for all standing out today. So, great point, Jeanette. I'm sorry I couldn't make it to any standouts today. You know, I love that shit. But holy shit, you guys were everywhere. Like the pictures I've seen coming in, especially 𝗵𝗲𝗻, you name it. Across the country, standouts are happening for Karen Reed. Across the country, man. And so this idea that, but I guess we're all being paid, right? Oh my God. I'm not even giving Cross any attention, like with her latest insanity on there, because it's just unfucking hinged. But this is the new theory that they've all been pushing, is that you guys are all paid. This is just a big psyop, and Karen's run out of money. So less and less people. So I will share this one. Okay. Because this one's funny. I got to share this one. Right. All right. So, Karen Reed's show of support in Florida. Oh, Turtle Riders were in Florida. Good thing she's not running an election and just trying to taint a jury pool. Either way, she's fucked, but Florida's a battleground state. I mean, this is just, it just shows that, like, she's so salty, huh? Like, the fact that people in Florida are taking up this cause, people around the country are taking up this cause, shows how far reaching it is. That, like, everybody knows this is bullshit. Everybody. And they've never been a part of anything this awesome. And they just can't come to terms with the fact that it's that people are out there because they want to be there. And so they're just like, well, that makes, if that's true, if people are out there, and I've started this movement, this nationwide movement called Free Karen Reed, then that means I'm successful, right? I've accomplished something, right? I've started a social movement, a political movement, and that's gained widespread support. That is something Crusty Panties cannot accept. My success. There's nothing her and the entire point of her existence is to just harm me, if you will, and just obsess over me. That's the only reason she has any interest whatsoever in this whole fucking thing, is because I started this. And so she would have no interest in this fucking whatsoever if I didn't start this. Literally none. She'd be sucking auditor dick still and having a great time. But let's see. Show and support. Good thing okay. And not in this one. Terrible turnout for Karen Reed's national standouts. The money has dried up. And then somebody goes, hey, fat pig. Get just one person to stand out for you. Yeah, that's true. Across the country. I mean, everywhere. It's like, she took this is how dishonest these people are. They take a picture of like 6 people in some random town and like, see, no one's out there anymore. It's like, I saw pictures. Here's fucking Dedham. It's 100 people in Dedham today. That looks like a lot of people. That's not 100 people. It's a lot more than the fucking the McAlberts have. I don't see anyone out there. What's this one? Where's this today? This was which highway overpass is this? Oh, is this Middleborough? Marblehead. No. Not Marblehead. I see MARB. Would that be Marblehead? So is that Route 3? Would that be no, Marblehead's North Shore. Marshfield is South Shore. The fuck is MARE? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, look at this shit. What's this one? Is this if I recognize this, is this Woburn? I think this is Woburn. I don't even know what all these other towns are. There's so many goddamn pictures, dude. What's this one? I beg to differ. Yeah, I mean, that looks like a bunch of people. Yeah, you know, what's this one? I just gave the Karen Reed supporters a nice toot along Route 1 South, across from Legacy Place in Dedham. I mean, they're everywhere, dude. There were so many of these people. Boots on the ground was out in full force, baby. And look at all the, oh yeah, no one's out. It's real dead. Oh yeah, people stop showing up. This is one location. People were all over the place. I peg him. Yeah, that none of these people ever show up. They're just so salty. She's been crazy lately, I guess. What do we got here? Oh, and then this was the best part. So she made some video here about me. Shocking. A video about me. Oh, that's so surprising. It's almost like she's obsessed with me. And I didn't watch it. But I think the whole premise is Turtleboy bad, Karen Reed bad. And I think the new thing she's saying is that we're all paid to be here, that this is like fake. Like I cannot listen to the sound of her voice. It's just too painful. But this is, so I guess in her video, she said that we are all working for some company called Crowds on Demand. So Allison Taggart, who is a great photographer and a free Karen Reed person, comes to all the shit, is boots on the ground from the beginning, photographs a lot of the shit. After 𝗵𝗄𝗆 said that these protesters work for works at Crowds on Demand. That's the name of the company she says is paying all these people. And so she puts in her Facebook bio as to like troll 𝗵𝗄𝗆. She puts works at Crowds on Demand. Okay. So she's mocking her. And this fucking short bus idiot goes and puts, about a week ago, I published the video below with the best evidence social media could find, pointing to Karen Reed using astroturfing, such as paid protesters, to artificially inflate her quote unquote support for optics. Like, what has she not noticed the amount of views I get? Did she miss all? Like, they can't be this obtuse, can they? Do they really think this is like all fake? Like, bro, if that's what you want to tell yourself, to be like, he's not successful, nobody's paid, go ahead. Knock yourself out, lie to yourself, I guess, if that makes you sleep well at night. But it's just not, it's not what you say it is. I missed something though. This woman, she has been spotted outside of court frequently, takes and posts protest photos, and has been invited into the courtroom for hearings. Oh, and she has listed her employer as dun 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 Crowds on Demand, the very company we speculated Karen has been using. And so Deanna tells her, for goodness sake, she put that up as her job like a day after you guys. She's too stupid to realize Allison is mocking her here, mocking her. And she's like, look, and I found her there. Oh, there she is. There she is. Oh, there she is again. Yeah, like all these kids are being paid too, right? We have child labor. We exploit child labor at the Free Karen Reed movement. It's all fake. It's all fake. Sure it is. She's just so jealous. Like, she's just so jealous. She can't get over the fact that I'm fucking killing it. And it's like this huge movement and it's all real. And like all these people support me and have my back, and no one will ever like her like that ever. For nothing nobody will ever like her. She can't even get the McAlberts to come to her court dates. That's it. Like, and she has a lot of court dates, a lot of them. And so she's like, I figured it out.
Is a grifter.
Oh, he's grifter. Ooh.
The word gets thrown around a lot.
Oh,
His
yeah.
firm claims to cover legal and expert fees.
Whoa.
Not having all that's dried up.
Whoa.
So has her once zealous crowd of courthouse supporters.
Oh, I can't even listen to her voice. It's just so painful. But yeah. So this other one, she says I'm going to kidnap her or something. Oh, this is the other thing. They're like, they know about the texts. Oh my God. I wish I almost just want to release all my texts with Karen Reed just so we can all have a good laugh. It's like the first thing, you know what the first thing Karen Reed ever said to me was on text? I have it. I got it here somewhere. Hold on. All right. The first thing she ever sent to me was, I'm going to read it to you. This is May 9th, 2023. She sends me a text message that says, I'm going to put this on auto delete. I trust you. I just don't trust the state police. As long as Michael Proctor is still heading this investigation, I'm paranoid he will try to arrest me or they'll take yet another phone of mine. That's the first thing she ever said to me. Is literally saying that like these people are corrupt and I don't trust them. They're shady, scary. And then all of her fears came true when they fucking seized her phone again and seized my phone. Like that's the first fucking thing she told me is she lives in constant fear of Michael Proctor. And it's the exact opposite. And we've read Michael Proctor's texts and what he thinks of her. She's fucking right. She's read like everything. This is what the fucking text messages with me and Karen all say. All of them. And then 99% of it is her videos sometimes didn't send well on Signal. So she would just text them to me. And so I clicked on all the videos in my cell phone extract to see what she sent me. It's all select board meeting shit. Like she sent me, let's see. Like she's sending me this, like Proctor said he went to Meadows on 1:30 and 2:03, and we wanted ring proof of this, but they didn't. So basically she's showing me that like they hid shit. It's like, you think I give a fuck if any of this comes out? It's her and me talking about how she's being framed for murder. That's the whole conversation. That's it. Okay? It's it. I mean, the fact that they have my messages and Cosgrove couldn't find anything incriminating to say in there. It's like, you think I give a fuck if you read our text messages? Like, okay, whatever. So anyway, all right. So let me read some more turtle chats and then we'll read the Bederow letters. All right. Jolie sends $5 and goes, I think signs should be made for yards that say either Free Karen Reed or the feds hired 𝗫𝗏. I heard someone asked about a plane with an advertisement. Okay. Thank you. Lexi sends $10, goes, I was on maternity leave to watch trial 1. Do we think trial 2 will qualify for FMLA? I don't know. Good luck with that, Lexi, though. I appreciate that. Kim sends $50 and says, Turtleboy, you rock. Karen Reed owes you big time. She doesn't, but I appreciate that. The McAlberts are 100% involved and responsible for the murder of police officer John O'Keefe for the simple fact that Jennifer McCabe did not go screaming and banging down the front door of the house to get Brian Albert outside immediately to tell him there was a deceased police officer, a guy, their friend, on their front lawn, near death or already deceased. Right. That right there is 100% guilty. Love you, Turtleboy from Staten Island, New York. Well, thank you very much, Kimberly. And that's the part, one of many things that doesn't make any sense. She gets there. She waited 30 minutes to go inside that fucking house. 30 minutes. And she claims she called her sister twice. And even though it says answered on the call log that her sister didn't answer, wouldn't that make her even more worried that something happened to her fucking sister? There's a dead man on the front lawn. Her house is unlocked. Aren't you a little, maybe there's a fucking serial killer or some shit around here. There's a fucking dead cop on the front lawn. 30 feet away is her bedroom. The house is unlocked and you don't even go and make sure she's okay. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, next one. Emily sends $10. So his new nickname for you, Aidan. You're not a witness intimidator. You're a witness encourager because you encourage witnesses to tell the truth. I was just so excited to see them testify. I mean, that is the truth. I was excited to see them testify. And, you know, but I wouldn't even call myself that. It was very entertaining watching him testify. That's it. All right, Mary Pat sends $10, goes, thanks, Dr. Turtleboy. We believe in you. Well, I believe in you too, Mary Pat. Thank you. Cyber Chicken Boston sends $50, goes, it's okay if you and I use Signal, but it's espionage for our administration to use it for military plans. They put our men and women at risk. Did they? I haven't been following that story. I don't want to get into politics. All I know is that it's given Signal like a, I kind of have, it's good branding. Because Signal is my jam, and I love Signal, and I prefer talking on Signal to everyone now, especially if it's. I just think like, is this a conversation I want the government to read? If not, I use Signal. You know what I mean? So, okay, next one. Rod sends $5 and says possible Bederow letter plants seed for KP to be defense witness. And either voir dire or questioned at trial, determine if her info as a source of public accusations are truthful. I have absolutely no idea what that means, Rod. Thank you for the $5. Doug's in Southie sends $5 and goes, Turtleboy, has the defense tested the tail light? Tail light that thing up with and without jigsaw's pieces to show what it looks like. Thank you for your dono, Doug. Corrupt Canton sends $10, goes, you are cracking me up tonight as usual. I love the way you say things and speak the truth. Thank you for dedicating your time to this cause. Free Karen Reed, free Turtleboy. Well, I do what I can, Corrupt Canton. I appreciate that. Eileen sends $25, goes, I slit a sheet, the sheet I slit. Upon the sheet I slit, I sit. Happy Sunday. Hope you had fun at the wedding 2.0. Let's fucking go. Absolutely. Kelly sends $20 and goes, is Krusty in the middle of these flipping rumors? That would be poetic justice. You know, if I were her, I would be flipping. I mean, I'm just saying, first one gets the worm. I mean, they got a lot of shit on her, I'm sure. They got a lot of shit on her. So, you know, whatever. Do I have any male supporters? Let's find out. Actually, I kind of want to do it. I always like to, sometimes I like to periodically do this. And by the way, the Proctor poll ends. 4,000 people voted. 51% say that he is not going to be called by the Commonwealth. Okay. Are you? Okay. I'm just trying to look for the male-female breakdown tonight. Let's see. I was shocked by my numbers. How many chicks watch the show? It's like 80% women. It's crazy, man. Crazy. This isn't a soap opera. This is serious shit. This isn't the Kardashians. All right. What are we at? 78% women after 700 votes. 79% women. Okay. No non-binaries. That's good. Awesome. No BLTs. Okay. Yeah, 79%. I think that's around what it's going to stay. All right, cool. Anyway, and I still can't get a date. Yeah. 80%. All right, nice to see. Awesome. All right, next up. Who's this from? Is this Jessica? Yeah, Jessica sends $10, goes, shout out to all the people who showed up at the San Diego State standout today at Liberty Station with me, Lola Rose, and Karen Frazzacco. Thanks, Molly, Clay, Marie, the family with the German Shepherd, and the others I can't remember right now. Our first standout, we had 3. Today I counted up to 13. Wow. You ain't got no quit from San Diego. Love you, Dr. Turtleboy. That's amazing, bro. San Diego is geographically like as far away from Boston as you can get. But there's still people out there giving up their time. Granted, the weather's a lot better, but giving up their time out there to support Karen Reed. That's awesome. Love seeing it. Love seeing it. All right, next one. Lizzie P's Tier sends $10, goes, is it true that Brian Albert bought a fishing cabin in Maine on the Maine Canadian border to live? It's like probably 2 hours from the border. Maybe an hour and a half. But yes, he did buy a cabin there. So, of course he did. Thomas Autonomous Anonymous sends $10, goes, Karen Reed and Aidan Kearney defense funds should be at $1 million combined. I think they are. Plevin inspired me to write a book and was hoping that Dr. A. Timothy Kearney could write the foreword to Slam Pigs and Shit Dicks inside AFKR's Wacko Chamber. I'd buy it. Thank you very much, Thomas. Nicole sends $10, goes, hustle long until Jen finds a dentist. Not soon enough. Todd sends $10, goes, what's more likely, drunk, testosterone-filled guys beat him up, or Karen is that good of a driver that she can go 24 miles in reverse and hit John precisely where it's no damage to him, and no one hears or sees it, and then when they leave, nobody sees the goddamn body. What fucking luck. Wow. She, again, and that no ring cameras pick it up. Awesome. It's I mean, best fucking luck ever. That's somehow believable to people. That makes sense. Next. Dwayne sends $25, goes, my theory is douchebag Michael Proctor has a migraine and hanging down hemorrhoid by Tuesday. All right, thank you. Emilio sends $10, goes, there is semen everywhere. Yes, there is. You crack me up. Hope we get justice this time. Thank you for fighting the good fight. Love from New York. Well, thank you, Emilio. I'm sure Karen Reed wishes that as well. Gracie's mom sends $25, goes, you're just because you're the best. Free Karen Reed, free Turtleboy. Well, thank you very much. Did I read all these? Hold on. There's a lot of turtle chats in there. I'm going to read as many as I can. Limp Dick Bukaki sends $10, goes, 𝗕𝗏𝗂𝗏 looks like Beaker from the Muppets. Google screaming Beaker images. Can you repost all Bukaki videos? Getting told to fuck off. I need a laugh. Okay, thank you. Because Natalie De Benedictus sends $5, goes, you're right. It's very difficult to stay positive watching that at every stage of Karen in your situation, there's been lies and tampering, and it's caused me to feel very hopeless and pessimistic, but it's not the way to fight this. You're so right. We need to maintain and push forward with positivity. Your outlook is incredibly inspiring, not only as a journalist, but as an inspiration. And you know what? I get, down too. I'm like, it's fucking like, you're like, man, the weight of the world is just on this and the system's rigged and it's fucked. You know what I mean? I understand that, sense of hopelessness. But at the end of the day, she's never going to be convicted. She's never going to be convicted. And that is largely due to our efforts. Our efforts have, gotten the message out there, gotten the word out there about, at the same time, she might not be acquitted. And that also might be our doing, because some people hate us so much that they're just like, fuck them. I feel like this caused people to double down. Like the whole anti-Karen Reed thing is just people who don't like me and don't like us. That's all it is. They don't actually believe any of this shit. They don't look into it. They don't know much about it. They're just retarded. And they're just mad at me, and that's all it is. Okay. Next up. Leslie sends $10, goes, wicked good intro. Thank you, Leslie. Birdie Binsky sends $10, goes, my sister and I hope to meet you in the buffer zone at Karen Reed 2.0. Well, if you're there, I go there every day to the buffer zone when I'm at court. I will be out there every day. I always go out there. Thank you for exposing government corruption. Free Karen Reed and free Turtleboy. Thank you, Birdie. K-Wag sends $5, goes, just wanted to say go Gators. Free Karen and you. Turtleboy, keep fighting. That game last night was fucking bonkers. At least we got a good game. Dude, Texas Tech was up by 10 points with like under 5 minutes to go, like almost 3 minutes to go. And Walter Clayton Jr. just took over. He had one of the most legendary March Madness games of all time. Man, this is going to be the best. I mean, all the 1 seeds are in the Final Four. It's only happened once before. But this is the year we need it. I mean, normally that you'd be like, that sucks, but we got the 4 best teams. We definitely have easily the 4 best teams in the country. And I don't know who's going to fucking win. Yeah, the Vols today, they had like 8 points. There was like 3 minutes to go in the first half. They had 8 fucking points. But that Florida game, Walter Clayton Jr. is special. He is fun to watch. And all these guys, they're all transfers. Nobody actually started on any of the schools they play for now. It's crazy. But, man, Duke looks unstoppable with Cooper Flagg and company. They look great. But then Houston also looked fucking great. I mean, they beat Purdue. They beat, that was a close one. They beat, obviously, Tennessee, Gonzaga. Like, they've beaten some good teams to get there. Duke just beat the fuck out of Alabama, who scored 113 points in the game before that. So they look great. Florida has had a couple close calls with Texas Tech and UConn. But I mean, that's a run that they just had. They just beat, I mean, I don't care if it's fucking UConn's having, they're still fucking UConn. They beat UConn, Maryland, and then Texas Tech to get to, they didn't fucking, they beat everybody they need, like the good teams. They earned their way there. And then Auburn, they're no slouch either. I forget who the 8 seed they beat is, but then Michigan is legit, Big Ten champs. And then they just beat the shit out of Michigan State. They just beat the shit out of them. So, I mean, they look awesome. It's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be the best Final Four. So I'm really looking forward to this. Who I think is going to win, honestly? Probably think Duke, right? I think it's going to be Florida. I just think that Walter Clayton Jr., he's something special. He's something special. So I think it's going to be Florida. Okay. All right, next up. Eric sends $15, goes same Bev bullshit 2.0. The jury selection and biased jury tampering, Bev bailing out witnesses when they are on the ropes, constant objections by the prosecution without definition, 1 hour closing arguments, very confusing juror instructions. I know the juror instructions will get fixed ahead of time, but the 1 hour closing if that happens again, it's fucking bullshit. The objections, the objections are going to be bad. You're right. Oh, yeah, we'll see. But with the jury shit, that's still somewhat in the defense's hands. They can mitigate that problem. They can mitigate that problem. Okay, next up. Amy sends $50, says, is it weird that I was having Dr. Turtleboy withdrawals this weekend? Not all. Tell your sister it's kind of selfish for her to get married on the eve of the Kearney trial. We will let it slide this once. I hope it was a great weekend. Thanks for all you do. Much love from Michigan. All right. Love my Michiganders out there. And you guys, sorry about the whole March Madness thing, but Auburn was pretty goddamn good. So thank you. Celine sends $25, goes, the closer we get to the trial date, the more desperate the Commonwealth becomes. Retrying Karen? Oh, fuck around and find out how this isn't going to be in Commonwealth's favor. Blessings to you and all efforts put forward. Well, thank you very much, Celine. Rod. No, I already read that one. Okay. All right, let me read some cash apps here, then we'll get started. Got a bunch of these. Holy shit. I mean, it's a good problem to have, all these donos. Angela sends $20 and says, keep on keeping on. Well, thank you very much, Angela. I swear to God, I had more. Is this just not updating? It definitely had some. Oh, here they are. Okay. Jen sends $50 and goes, thanks, doctor. Happy Doctor's Day to all physicians. Is it really Doctor's Day? I celebrate privately. Thank you. Jennifer sends $1. I will not be reading that. Again, no offense, guys. I've been over this before. You cannot tip me $1 and expect to have the show interrupted for your thing. I mean, that's just, come on. $5 minimum. It ain't asking much, right? Because it's like a commercial. Look at it that way. You get to interrupt the show with your shit. You do not get to interrupt the show for $1. If you don't like it, if you think that's elitist of me, go fuck yourself. Okay. But that's it. We've been over this shit before. Thank you. Amy sends $5, goes, will Meredith be in court if you can't be? Why would Meredith be in court? She's not in the press. So thank you, Amy. Tracy sends $5 tonight and says, Bernie Albert, the father, was a dentist in Sobos. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. Let's see. Renee sends $10 and says, free Turtleboy, free Karen Reed, and justice for John O'Keefe. Absolutely. Thank you, Renee. Kim sends $10 and says, Turtle Chat, can Proctor plead the 5th or will he be forced to testify? I don't see how he plead the 5th from what? He's not under criminal investigation, so they say, right? I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. I know if I'm such a massage therapist, misogynist, whatever, like, why are there so many women that watch my show? Like, I thought I was like wicked sexist or something. Like, I don't get it, but worst sexist ever. Okay. Worst massage therapist ever. All right. Next one. Michael sends $5 and goes, if Hanky can't explain the marks on John O'Keefe's arm, not guilty. He's going to try. He's just going to say it's a taillight. And they have this guy, Judd the Chud. I cannot wait to see Judd the Chud's. His name is fucking Judd, bro. They got an expert named Judd. Of course they do. Judd. I didn't even know there was a name. Not Jed or Jebediah. Judd. This motherfucker's mama named her son Judd. Can we talk about that? From that's a crime in and of itself. Okay. There's another Judd who's, I don't know who that. I've heard of Jude. Hey Jude. I know Jude. I don't know Judd. I don't know Judd. Judson. That's even worse. Judson. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Michael sends $5. Yeah, so that's what he sends. Again, the markings on the arm are, I mean, they're going to have Dr. Marie Russell 2.0 is so convinced, more convinced than she was 1.0, that those are dog bites, and Garrett Wing. By the way, remember Spanky filed a motion not to let Garrett Wing testify? Whatever happened to that? Do you guys know what can the chat fill me in on that? What happened to the motion to keep Garrett Wing from testifying? Does anyone know? Because that will be Judd Apatow. That's a Judd. That's true. He's somewhat famous. I stand corrected. He was allowed? Wait, so that motion was denied? Is that official? Did I miss that? She hasn't ruled on it yet. I mean, don't they need to rule on this shit? I mean, Crosby's been allowed. And Easter, too. I don't think it's been ruled under advisement. Dude, she okayed the meteorologist who's going to say the ground is harder than a rock. I don't know. Thank you, Michael. Frank sends $5, goes, that buffer zone sign cost the town like 10 grand. I know. I mean, what right does she have to even tell the town of Dedham that you can't have protests out there? Like, that's crazy. So thank you very much for that. Mama She sends $50 and goes, Dr. Daddy, do not trust Spanky at all. Oh, you think I trust him? I definitely don't trust Spanky. Thank you, Mama She. Okay. Tracy sends $10 and goes, who do you think is going to flip? Can you do a PO? I don't know what that means, so thank you. Let's see. Okay. Patrick sends $5 and says, Karen Reed trial branding the Bedlam and Dedham. Doesn't really rhyme. I get what you're saying. Kind of a reach, though. Kind of a reach. And I got a bunch of other turtle chats that I will read a little bit later, okay? Because I want to get started on some shit. All right. So thank you very much for all that, because it's goddamn 10:15 for crying out loud. And we haven't even really gotten started. So we got to get started. Okay. All right. So first thing we're going to do is read the latest Bederow letter, because it's baller. All right, so we're not fucking around anymore. We're if you guys recall, about in October, Bederow sent letters to Robert Cosgrove, and the antis are like, it's a stunt. Why is he writing letters instead of motions? They're too stupid to realize, not to figure out the long game, if you will. Here we are. The purpose of these letters is to hopefully avoid having to battle this out in court. We're assuming Cosgrove is not shady, not dirty, which I don't know if I believe that anymore after the most recent thing where he tried to revoke my bail and lied about it. But we are operating under the impression that these guys are not, that if we ask for shit and we lay it out for him, he'll be like, he wants to be fair, you know? Now, whether or not he's going to do that is another question, but we want to give him the chance to. And that's kind of the purpose of these, and saying, if you don't respond to this, then we're going to have to deal it in court. Why don't we just, because that's what judges always say, try to work it out. Okay, we're trying to work it out. So he says this. Okay. I write to follow up on numerous outstanding Brady Giglio and Rule 14 demands dated October 8th and October 17th. Footnote. Copies of the October 8th and 7th demand letters are attached. These demands relate in relevant part to Catherine Peter, who on information and belief assisted the Commonwealth's investigations and prosecutions of Aidan Kearney and Karen Reed as part of her intertwined relationship with the Commonwealth and several witnesses against them. As detailed in the October 24th demand, Miss Peter, motivated by her obsessive hatred of Mr. Kearney, which she expresses daily on social media, immersed herself into the Kearney and Reed matters with the blessing of the Commonwealth. Yes, she did. Remember, this is the same chick who has, well, we'll get to actually, and the letter is very expansive, says it all. Although these specific demands were made more than 5 months ago, you have neither disclosed any information or materials in response to them, nor represented Mr. Kearney's defense that no such evidence exists. In the interest of avoiding pointless litigation and an unnecessary waste of court resources, I respectfully request a formal response to this demand within 2 weeks. So there we go. You got 2 weeks to get back to us, or we're going to have to do things our way in court. We're going to have to be a whole stink about this. Effective March 1st, an amendment to the Rule 14 of the Massachusetts Rules of Criminal Procedure expanded the Commonwealth's duty to investigate whether there is any discoverable evidence within the possession, custody, and control of the prosecution team, and to then promptly disclose it. Under the new rule, the prosecution team expressly includes all persons under the prosecuting office's direction and control. So that would be Krusty. You are now required to inform every member of the prosecution team who you have reason to believe may be in possession of items or information subject to discovery about the obligations of this rule, and then inquire of each as to the existence of any such items or information. Prior to March 1st, you are obligated, at a minimum, to question Ken Mello, the state police members John Fanning and Brian Tully, and Miss Peter as part of your obligation to learn about the existence of any discoverable evidence, because we had proof from, I don't even know if I'm allowed to talk about this, so I'm not going to talk about it, redacted, something that is now under protective order. But when we wrote the letters, it was not under protective order. And I'm sure the chat can fill people in about what that is. But we learned about something that is now in a protective order that I can't talk about, that I've talked about previously when the order wasn't in place. So I guess you're just supposed to forget I said all that shit and showed you all that shit. Whatever. If you don't remember, the chat will fill you in. Okay. So I'm sure they will. Somebody explain. I mean, can somebody in the chat explain? Because I can't. Are we really not remembering this shit? Do you guys really have that short attention spans? Like, you guys know what the fuck I'm talking about, chat? There's really no one in, there's how many people are watching? 8,750 of you. And not one fucking person knows what the fuck I'm talking about. Really? No. Okay. So I'm seeing some of it. Duh. Yeah. Okay. I've seen it like 4 times now. Okay. The chat will help you out. Okay. I hope they do. So It's, stuff that when I received it from Brian Tully, it was not under any such protective order. And it was pretty eye-opening, the stuff that we received. And now it is under a protective order as of December 27th. So figure that out. Okay. Anyway, we have not gotten any of this shit back. John Fanning, Tully, and Miss Peter. Rule 14 now requires you to inquire of each member of the Reed prosecution team for the existence of discoverable information and materials given both cases under the direction of the Norfolk County DA. The subject matter of his case overlaps with Miss Reed case. Both cases involve the same state police investigators. The Reed prosecution team's close relationship with numerous witnesses who would testify against Mr. Kearney, and the Reed prosecution team's clear interest and recent intervention into Mr. Kearney's cases. Give me 1 second. Hold on. All right, we're back. We're back. Okay. Just listen to Jen Altman, okay? Anyway, all right. Anyway, back to this. Reed's prosecution team has sought information from you about Mr. Kearney to use consciousness of guilt evidence against Miss Reed. They have included Mr. Kearney on their witness list against Miss Reed. Despite seeking judicial approval to access his cellular phones under Rule 17, lead prosecutor Hank Brennan nevertheless has expressed his belief that he has an absolute right to access evidence against Mr. Kearney without judicial intervention. Mr. Brennan and you have implied that counsel for Miss Reed and Mr. Kearney assisted in a conspiracy between Miss Reed and Mr. Kearney to intimidate witnesses scheduled to testify against them. Although a grand jury refused to indict Miss Reed and Mr. Kearney for allegedly conspiring to commit witness intimidation, you noted in a March 20th filing that the Commonwealth's investigation remains open. In response to Miss Reed's request that I join her defense team, Mr. Brennan recklessly and inaccurately suggested, without stating his purported source of information to the court, that I shared protected material to mutually benefit Miss Reed and Mr. Kearney. So it probably felt good for him to get that off his chest, because that's bullshit. Consequently, any discoverable information and material in the Commonwealth's possession, custody, and control related to Miss Peters' involvement with the Commonwealth and or witnesses who will testify against Mr. Kearney must be collected and promptly disclosed to his defense. And we have to assume that Crusty Panties is going to testify against me. So, because she's a huge part, as we're going to see, of my prosecution, we need this evidence, cell phone communications, all types of shit. This, of course, includes prompt disclosure of any evidence that the prosecution team has in their possession, custody, or control, which adversely impacts the credibility of any witnesses against Mr. Kearney, otherwise favors him, or casts doubt on the case against him. Yeah. Your disclosure obligations to Mr. Kearney remains irrespective of your view, or that of Reed's prosecution team, of the evidence's reliability, credibility, or admissibility, and without regard to whether the information has been documented in any manner. Rule 14. In other words, where the subject matter is discoverable, you must promptly disclose any information derived from conversations or interviews between or among Miss Peter, the relevant witnesses against Mr. Kearney, and any members of the Kearney and Reed prosecution teams, even if it was not memorialized in any way. So we need to be able to get any information derived from conversations or interviews between or among Miss Peter, the relevant witnesses, and any members of the prosecution team. So anytime she talked to them, we need to know about it. Any meetings that Jennifer McCabe had with them, we need to know about it. We need to know about all types of shit. As evidenced by the October 8th and 20 by the other Bederow letters, there can be no doubt the Commonwealth has in its possession, custody, and control discoverable material related to Miss Peters' involvement in the cases against Mr. Kearney. State Police Lieutenant Fanning has sworn that an unnamed civilian, Miss Peter, provided the state police redacted and blank redacted that the state police redacted. So if you guys recall in the first Bederow letter, again, I cannot talk about this because it's under protective order. It was, so you could go watch my episode where I talked about this before the December 27th protective order was put in place by Judge 𝗏𝗏. You can go back and watch that, and that's perfectly legal. But, you know, this part here, I can't read it. So, but you guys get the point. Fanning said in his letter at the grand jury, I think, that that 𝗵𝗏 was like an informant for them, that he's like her lone source of information. See Exhibit A. Miss Peter has admitted under oath that she has been cooperating with the prosecution and giving them, this is a quote that she said, she has been cooperating with the prosecution and giving them information on Mr. Kearney. She has boasted under oath that Mr. Kearney should blame her for his legal issues because, quote, I am furnishing information against him. She said this at a restraining order hearing in Leominster in which an order was granted. She has described herself as a potential witness against Mr. Kearney and acknowledged meeting with Mr. Mello on the same day Mr. Kearney was arraigned for allegedly intimidating witnesses. The DA's office recused itself from prosecuting at least 2 witness intimidation cases against Miss Peter, one against Lauren Murray in Dedham and one against me in Leominster. Miss Peter and blank, I don't know, in which she is the defendant. Miss Peter and blank, 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 that Mr. Kearney apparently failed to recognize that the Norfolk DA's office recused itself from prosecuting Miss Peter because she was blank. So somebody in here is having stuff redacted that's in the protective order that we used to be allowed to talk about, but now we can't. Within 1 hour of Mr. Kearney's October 11th arrest by state police, Detective Lieutenant 𝗫𝗏, Miss Peter announced on Twitter that we, quote unquote, knew about alleged witness intimidation of Reed witnesses by one of her attorneys. She strongly implied that she had seen text messages to support this absurd claim. Remember, she taunted David, you know, and he's like, we've read your text. Who the fuck is we? Why is this bitch reading shit? Miss Peter's own text messages confirm that she leveraged her direct access to Mr. Mello and the state police to help the Commonwealth's prosecution, Mr. Kearney. She told blank that she would about Mr. Kearney's alleged crimes. Again, go back and read, which is still on my website, the first Bederow letters, and you will understand exactly what all this was, because those were published before a protective order was put in place. In these circumstances, it is hard to fathom how the Commonwealth could not be in possession, custody, or control of discoverable information and materials referenced in the October 8th and October 17th demands. To be clear, we demand any and all information and materials subject to disclosure under Rule 14, including but not limited to evidence of Miss Peters' involvement in the Kearney and Reed cases, and evidence of interactions and communications between and among Miss Peter, the Kearney prosecution team, the Reed prosecution team, and Reed case witnesses who are expected to testify against Mr. Kearney, including but not limited to all these McAlbert fucks. So that is the letter that he has to respond to. So we're baking a cake here, folks. We're baking a cake. Trust me. Trust me. More shit's going down. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, cool. Next thing. Let's talk about the hearing that happened the other day. All right, so we did this on Zoom, and this was a bad day for Spanky, wasn't it? Didn't go very well for him. So we did this on Zoom, and the purpose of this hearing is, remember, Spanky filed a motion to get a Rule 17 motion for shit in my phone, even though he's not the prosecutor in my case, because he believes he wants evidence that I conspired with Karen Reed to commit witness intimidation. This is how fucking crazy these people are. They call us conspiracy theorists. They believe they're operating under the assumption that the dastardly Karen Reed knows that she is guilty, and that she realized that if all these witnesses testify against her, she's fucked. So, in order to prevent that from happening, to obstruct justice, she had a third party named Natalie the German reach out to me and begin to facilitate witness intimidation plans. That Karen Reed gave me information that I published in articles, in that I guess the articles themselves are witness intimidation, but like it was all a big mastermind plan of the dastardly Karen Reed to just use me and abuse me and just, you know, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. No call the next day, nothing. Just see you later. See you later. She was going to use the fuck out of me. So, you know, I guess that's what they're going under. Not the, you know, the reality of this all is that I've been writing articles for 10 years. This is what I do. I expose corruption. It's been what I've been doing since before Karen Reed. And this is just the latest story that I latched onto. And it happened to be the most salacious, which makes it so popular. But that's it. That's literally it. And I had access to Karen Reed and asked her questions just because I have access to like other sources too. And by the way, did you guys know I got another story on Spanky. Oh, hold on. Actually, I was reading this the other day. So you guys remember the Leigha Genduso story? You guys remember that? She was a state police she was a state police trooper who was like on posters and stuff for being in the canine unit and was used to like LG 1.0. Okay. Yeah. So you guys remember in 2018, I broke this major story that this trooper who graduated with Proctor, same class, and quite the class there. And I found her, or was, you know, I got a hold of her court documents from 2005, I think, or maybe 2006 or 7, around then, in which she testified against in federal court against her former boyfriend, 𝗵𝗿𝗄𝗆, who she sold pot with back when pot was illegal. And she laundered for him like $350,000 in weed money. And so it through like shady lawyers, including a very rapey attorney named 𝗵𝗄𝗄𝗃. Well, what apparently I've just been tipped off to, and I didn't also realize, you know who else got money from her? Spanky Brennan. I have not had time to read this yet. They sent me, and they got, it's one of my sources. It must be Karen Reed. Somebody's sending me what's called information. So you're not allowed to share information that other people can and share court documents. And, you know, it appears, again, I have not read this whole testimony. How many pages is this that he sent me? Let me see. Hold on. Yeah, actually, let's get to this. Actually, let me pull this up. Okay, so this is the day the cops came. Sean woke me up. 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗍 woke me up very upset. Okay. And saying, did he say anything? He told me to get out of the house and that there was a box in the trunk that he put in there. The box had all the money. Okay. Did he say where to go? No. And how was Mike Natola's fee determined? That was determined through Gary, Mike, and Sean. So Gary 𝗲𝗏𝗧, I don't know who Mike is. Oh, he's the attorney. And 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗍. How much was it? I don't remember how much it was. Anywhere from 25 to 50. Where did that money come from? The box. Did you get a receipt? No. At some point, you got into the prison and you could talk with 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗍. Yes. Do you have conversations about Darren Martin, the other pot dealer they worked with? Yes. Describe those conversations. The first time Gary and Mike went to see Sean, they also brought another attorney named Hank Brennan to visit them as well, where Darren hired Hank. Bro, I had no idea that Spanky was part of the Leigha Genduso story. He visited 𝗵𝗍 in jail when he was arrested for this shit. Again, Leigha Genduso laundered $350,000 worth of drug money to through this shady lawyer named Gary 𝗲𝗏𝗧, who has been charged with rape 5 times. And guess who represented Gary 𝗲𝗏𝗧 and got him exonerated for rape? Hank Brennan and Joe Krowski Jr. They both represented. He's had so many rape trials, it's hard to keep track of who all his lawyers were. And so the 5th time around, though, he finally got convicted. He was finally convicted of rape on the 5th try, right? But that's Gary 𝗲𝗏𝗧, and apparently Spanky is in this world too. And did you have any conversations about Darren Martin? Okay. And do you know how much 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗍 paid for Darren Martin's lawyer? Oh, so Darren Martin's lawyer is Spanky Brennan. So 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗍𝗍 paid $20,000. So using laundered drug money that Leigha Genduso hid. So Leigha Genduso the cops are coming, get the money out of here. So she takes all the money, cash. And now 𝗵𝗃𝗍's got his money. So 𝗵𝗃𝗍 gets 20 grand to his co-conspirator here, Daryl Martin, and they pay Spanky. So this is who Spanky is. This is the kind of guy Spanky is. He's the kind of guy that gets paid 20 grand in cash, drug money, according to this testimony. Where did that money come from? It came from the box. Did you get a receipt? No. Okay. And then let's see, date of verdict prepared for, let's see. This dude did like 12 years in jail for pot. Like, it's crazy. I'm looking for Brennan. Yeah. Genduso told 𝗲𝗏𝗧 that 𝗵𝗃𝗍 made his money selling marijuana and told him that she got out of the house with the money box. Genduso and 𝗲𝗏𝗧 counted the money that night and determined that there was $275,000 in $5,000 increments in the box. She testified that 𝗲𝗏𝗧 had the money box and the 2 safes about 3 to 4 weeks before at 𝗵𝗃𝗍's instruction. Genduso testified that 𝗵𝗃𝗍, who was in pretrial custody, told her that he wanted to hire 𝗲𝗏𝗧 and pay him from the money box. 𝗳𝗏𝗃 said it would be 50 grand, and Genduso told him to take it from the money box. 𝗳𝗏𝗃 then visited 𝗵𝗂𝗃 in prison with attorney Mike 𝗕𝗏𝗃, and 𝗵𝗂𝗃 agreed to hire 𝗕𝗏𝗃 as well. 𝗵𝗂𝗃 told Genduso to pay him from the money box, and Genduso told 𝗳𝗏𝗃 to get money from 𝗕𝗏𝗃 from the money box. Genduso said that 𝗕𝗏𝗃 was paid between 25 and 50 grand. They shouldn't even have this money. The police would have confiscated this money. This is drug money. Genduso testified that 𝗵𝗂𝗃 also paid for Darren Martin's lawyer, Henry Brennan, whom 𝗳𝗏𝗃 recommended because Brennan had got him off a rape charge. This is so fucking crazy. And Genduso, this is how Hank Brennan made his money, by the way, his whole fucking life. And this filthy, disgusting piece of shit, human excrement, has the audacity to stand up there and say that Mark Bederow is an unethical fucking attorney. Can you believe this shit? To say that I'm a bad person, I'm a witness intimidator. This motherfucker's getting paid drug money under the table. Where's that 20 grand? Did you ever report that to the IRS, Spanky? Because it was cash. This motherfucker got paid $20,000 in illegally laundered drug money. Cash. No receipts. Did he report that? And this motherfucker wants to talk about ethics. Mark Bederow has never accepted $20,000 in drug money under the fucking table, cash only. How about we audit this motherfucker? So anyway, 𝗵𝗂𝗃 told Genduso to have Brennan paid $25,000 from the money box, and Genduso told 𝗳𝗏𝗃 to give Brennan $25,000 to represent Martin. Martin had also advised that 𝗵𝗂𝗃 paid for his attorney, Henry Brennan. Genduso testified that 𝗵𝗂𝗃 also paid $10,000 for Genduso's lawyer, Elliot Weinstein. All this money from the money box. How about this? What's this? After you were arrested, whose testimony is this? This is witnesses on behalf of the government. Oh, this is Darren Martin's testimony. I swear to God, so the person who sent me this story, when they first sent me the Genduso story in 2018, I remember it was February and I read it all. I'm like, oh my God, I am going to, this trooper has no idea that I am about to end her career. Wow. This is a fucking story and a half. Holy shit, I'm sitting on this. But I didn't find this document on my own. It was sent to me from an anonymous person on Gmail, who I still don't know who they are to this day. This person, I haven't heard from this person in 5 years. And they emailed me again this shit. So they're obviously following it. I think it's 𝗵𝗂𝗃. That's my first guess. It's either 𝗵𝗂𝗃 or somebody very close to him. But again, this is the kind of shit when Karen Reed does it, they call it witness intimidation. When a source sends you fucking court documents and you're like, holy shit, I'm going to write about this. Okay, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Oh, stop it. That's rude. Stop it. No comment. No comment. I would never do that. All right. So they're asking Darren Martin, after you were pulled over, did anything happen to you? I believe I had a panic attack, he says, and hyperventilated, and they called an ambulance. Did they take you to the hospital? Yes. After you were arrested, were you in jail? Yes. With who? Sean 𝗵𝗂𝗃 and Anthony Belmonte. Did you have any conversations with Sean 𝗵𝗂𝗃 about the case? Yes. What did he say? That we were going to beat the case. At some point, they didn't. Spoiler alert, they don't beat the case. At some point, did a lawyer show up for you? Yes. Can you describe how that came about? He just showed up. I believe it was the second or third day that I was in jail. Who showed up? Hank Brennan. He was with two lawyers. So Spanky shows up. Yeah. Did he tell you anything? Yeah. When this lawyer, Hank Brennan, showed up, he said Hank would be my attorney. Did you know Hank Brennan? No. Did you ever find out who paid Hank Brennan to represent you? Yes. Who paid him? Again, Your Honor, this is cumulative of trial testimony. He's got to give the source of his knowledge first. How did you find that out? Through Hank. What did he tell you? He told me the money was from Sean. So Hank knows the money came from drug money. And did Sean also tell you that he was paying for your lawyer? Yes. Did he say how much he paid? I believe it was 15 grand. Yes. Could you afford a lawyer at that point? No. At some point were you released? Yes. They had a problem. You tested positive. Then you had a problem. You tested positive for cocaine. And where'd you go? I went to Gosnold. At some point, did 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 send you something? Yes. Okay. And what's this? One more reference to him. Okay. So that's, this story never ends. Okay. So anyway, Hank Brennan thinks that I'm a bad person. The guy who is literally getting drug money, who gets paid off of drug money, that's illegally laundered by a woman who the real scandal there was this happened like 10 years before she became a state trooper. No, it was like 7 years before she became a state trooper. She testified. They were threatening to send her to jail for 2 years if she didn't rat on 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃. And so she started a goddamn website called 𝗵𝗄𝗏𝗏.com. Is that website still up? It's still fucking up. Look at this. Leigha Genduso started this website called 𝗵𝗄𝗏𝗏.com. And they just call out snitches on here. So Harold's a snitch. Eric Sanchez is a snitch. Okay. Donation, no thank you. Okay. Anyway, she started this shit. Basically, it calls out rats. And, you know who's a rat? 𝗬𝗏𝗶𝗺, another one of Spanky's good friends. Anyway, that's witness intimidation, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 I don't know if he took over that, one of his people did. She put him in jail for 12 fucking years. That guy did 12 years for selling pot, and she got 0. And she, not only did she get 0 years, she went on to become a state police trooper. They hired her. These people that don't do background checks, except they do background checks, very extensive ones. Except she was also dating, at the time, Lieutenant Colonel Dan Ristine. And he knew about her past. And when you're blowing the lieutenant colonel, you're going to get on. You're going to get on, period. And so she got on there, and that's how she got on. Despite that was the real scandal, is that somebody with that kind of background could get on the state police. Yeah. And if you guys, I don't need to go over the whole history with Genduso. Other turtle riders know she was actually she became a turtle rider for about a year. Like 2 years later, she messaged me and was like, I want to bury the hatchet. Okay, cool. And then she came on here like every day and was talking and whatever. And, one thing led to another. And next thing you know, there's some scandalous photos of me out there. And so that's how that happened. And then she teamed up with Krusty. And then we also saw from the thing that I can't mention because it's in the protective order that she was very involved in my charges. It was actually she was actually one of the people came up with the idea. So it's just crazy. It's just crazy how this shit all connects. And Spanky has the audacity to be like, Turtleboy's a bad guy. Karen Reed's a bad guy. So anyway, he wants my shit. He wants my messages. So we got to go to court for this, except the judge had already ruled in his Rule 17 order that the only messages that the Commonwealth can get from my phone are messages between me and Karen Reed that specifically pertain to or are about witness intimidation. Me contacting witnesses, harassing them, me sending her videos and pictures of me harassing witnesses, stuff like that. No such conversations exist. So there should be nothing handed over. But we see that Cosgrove has filed something and says he has a thumb drive with all this shit from my phone. And we're like, whoa, stop the fight. We want to know what's on there. What the hell does this motherfucker think he's going to hand over? And as it turns out, we believe that what is on that thumb drive is nothing but messages between me and David Yannetti. You guys might have seen about over a week ago some messages. Do you guys see the messages between me and Yannetti that became public info? I guess we should bring it up. Let me pull it up here. Give me one moment. All right, here it is. So this is publicly available shit. Anyone could just go on mass courts and read any of this shit. So Cosgrove files a motion in which he specifically sneaks in at the end some shit from my phone that hadn't been made public yet. Included in them were messages between me and David Yannetti. All right. Here are some representative examples from attorney Yannetti. So let's see what he says up here, by the way. Both the Reed team and Kearney took pains to conceal their actual relationship. For example, on May 3rd, Yannetti texted Kearney, dude, he called me dude, don't be offended if we don't shake your hand on the way into court. We want to maintain the separation in your independent investigation. Like, bro literally says, where'd it go? He literally said, we want to maintain the keep the separation in your independent investigation. He's saying right there, your investigation is independent of us. We want to keep it that way. As tempting as it is to shake your hand, because you, my friend, are fucking the balls. You are awesome. You are fucking good at your job, and you are exposing corruption so much. And I would like to thank you for that, because it's a goddamn fucking public service. And I would love to do that, but I can't. So don't be offended, he's telling me, if I don't shake your hand on the way into court, because we want to maintain the separation in your independent investigation. He literally says it right there, that it's an independent investigation. It confirms everything we've said, that I am separate from them. So, here are some representative examples from attorney Yannetti. So let's read these messages. On April 22nd, he texts Kearney, that was priceless, dude. Great fucking show. Really enjoy the turtle reporting. And so to these numbnuts, everything I do is witness intimidation. Everything I do. Every show is witness intimidation. Everything I do is witness intimidation. So if David Yannetti is saying, great show, that was priceless, I'm enjoying reporting, That's David Yannetti saying, good job on the witness intimidation. That's how fucking retarded these people are. This is how stupid their imaginations are. But can you believe this shit? On May 29th, Yannetti assured Kearney, you are a class act. Nice. Karen and her parents, thank you. Oh, no. Because you know what? Yannetti and Jackson didn't even know that I was talking to Karen Reed. Did you know that? They would not approve, I don't think. So we had to keep it on the down low that we were talking. Because, in there, like, they probably wanted to avoid the situation we're in right now. These fucking motherfuckers doing some grimy shit, But it's like, dude, this is so fucking harmless. You're a class act. So what? Are you mad, Cosgrove, that no one has ever said that about you? A few weeks later on 6/9, he texted, another great article by Turtleboy. You're doing God's work. Oh, well, thank you, sir. Told by Kearney on 6/9. So on June 9th, I tell him that on July 25th outside the courthouse, I will hold a protest on the courthouse steps where I will have a megaphone and make sure hundreds of people are there. Like the First Amendment allows me to. You're allowed to use a goddamn megaphone and, have hundreds of people outside protesting. You're allowed to do that. Yannetti responded that he loved it. Oh, no. So you're telling me that he enjoyed the fact that he is representing a client that has widespread vocal support outside of the courthouse during our hearings. Oh, fucking, well, I guess that's witness intimidation then. On 8/8/83, what the fuck? And I was only 2 years old. I'm intimidating witnesses. In response for Kearney's request, 1 year old actually at the time, for Kearney's request for names of criminal defense attorneys who might want to appear on a YouTube discussion panel, Yannetti forwarded the names of 4 lawyers and their cell numbers. Oh my fucking God. Stop the fight. Stop the fight. I literally said, oh my goodness gracious. I asked David Yannetti, I'm like, hey, I'd like to interview a lawyer on my show just to hear other thoughts on this. Obviously not you guys. I'd like to hear a lawyer's perspective on this. Do you and who better to ask for a reference than a lawyer? I didn't have a lawyer. I didn't know Tim Bradle at the time. I wasn't arrested yet. I wasn't witness intimidating yet. So I asked him, I'm like, hey, do you have any attorneys who would like to come on the show with me? And he's like, okay, here's a couple references. I guess none of them came on because I don't even remember having any on. But this is really what this dude actually put in his goddamn motion. And he says here that that at the phone, at the first grand jury that tried to indict Karen Reed and me on March 27th, that Mello, this motherfucker can't spell my name right. God damn it. That they chose not to indict us on. He goes, at the time of ADA Mello's presentation, he had not viewed any of the data from Kearney's phone discussed. So they didn't have all these bombshells. They didn't have all that. It was not presented to the grand jury. The Commonwealth investigation into these matters remains open, and it knows of no bar presenting them to another grand jury should it elect to do so. So we might. That's his way of saying we might try to indict him again now that we have this phone shit. Ooh, not the Yannetti messages. Ooh. And again, I don't see any messages between me and Karen Reed on this. That's the problem, is who gives a fuck if I'm talking to Yannetti? You can talk to Yannetti till the cows come home. He's not charged with murder. Yeah, he gets so mad about that. The text messages, look what he says here. The text exchanges also make it clear that the Reid team was in telephonic and email communication with the same people. They reportedly provided Kearney with information, not information, including videos, copies of documents, sometimes with a request that he not use it yet. Oh no. You know, like saying something's off the record. Oh no, not that. At times they would suggest angles for him to cover or otherwise ask for his assistance. Oh no, they asked for my assistance. Wow. Oh my gosh. The Reid team responded to Kearney's specific requests for information, discussed strategy, and quite frankly, frequently stoked his ego by effusing his YouTube presentations. This guy is such a boomer. He calls my show a YouTube presentation, bro. Dude. And can you get a new pair of shoes, Cosgrove? What are you wearing? Dude, I understand when you reach a certain age, you're like required to buy walking shoes because walking in khaki slacks is the most exercise that you're going to get at your age. I get it. But they were I believe it was stroking my ego. He went to go for stroking. I don't know what stoking my ego is. But I mean, yeah, they were stroking the Intimidator. They were stroking that thing up, baby. Lots and lots of stroking. Stroking that ego hard, dude. Fucking just going to work on my ego. Oh, bro. Stoke that ego. Yeah. So anyway, he does. He definitely has Velcro shoes. Definitely. But anyway, it's literally called journalism. Like, that's what I'm saying. They're describing journalism. Like, this is fucking crazy. Anyway, so we have this hearing the other day, and he uses, this is how I know they're working together. Cosgrove filed that on March 20th. He did that so it's in the public domain. So then Brennan can be like, oh, look what I found. Oh, now I want more shit because, oh, look at this. He references this, right? And there's because that way, otherwise you'd be like, you motherfuckers are working together. Well, they're not because it's a public court document. And oh yeah, these dumbasses. Anyway, so let's watch the hearing and see how this went. Spoiler alert, not very well for Spanky.
And separately, the Commonwealth versus Aidan Kearney. Can I have the parties identify themselves?
Mr. Clerk, hold on just a moment, please. Sure. I need to plug in because I believe your party's on Zoom.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's also my understanding that we're only here on case 0117.
That was also my understanding.
Okay. Thank you. And do you have the Zoom identification link for me, please?
I do. It's right here.
Thank you.
There's no password.
Thank you.
Oh, this is Spanky.
Relative to docket 0.
Okay, Mr. Clerk.
Judge,
the case and identify the parties.
22117, the Commonwealth versus Karen Reid. Can I have counsel identify themselves, starting with the Commonwealth?
Good morning, Your Honor. Hank Brennan for the Commonwealth, relative to docket 00117.
Good morning, Attorney Brennan.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Robert Cosgrove. I'm a special prosecutor on the Aidan Kearney cases, and I suppose for purposes of this motion, I'm the respondent to the Rule 17 motion.
Good morning, Attorney Cosgrove.
Good morning.
Hello, Your Honor. Timothy Bredel for Aidan Kearney. I see him on the Zoom for the record.
Good morning, Attorney Bredel. Good morning, Mr. Kearney.
True.
And Mark Bederow for Mr. Kearney. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Attorney Bredel.
And good morning, Judge Attorney David Yannetti for Karen Reid, who's also present on the Zoom.
Good morning, Attorney Yannetti. Good morning, Ms. Reid.
Good morning, Your Honor. Elizabeth Little, also on behalf of Ms. Reid.
Good morning, Attorney Little. Anyone else here that we need to recognize before we proceed? Doesn't seem so. Okay. Folks, we are here on two related matters this morning. As an initial matter, we are here because there seems to be some confusion concerning my order of March 20th on docket 615.
There seems to be confusion.
Also, we're here because there has been a motion for protective order, docket 636, filed by intervener Kearney, and so we will hear that as well. So with regard to my order, let me start by saying this. Going back to Attorney Brennan's affidavit filed in this case on March 5th, 2025, in support of the Commonwealth's motion for records, Attorney Brennan, you specifically stated that, quote, it's been represented to the court by defense counsel Bredel on behalf of Mr. Kearney that there's an implicit long-term mutual assistance and mutual defense agreement between counsel for Mr. Kearney and counsels for this defendant, Reed. On the basis of that sworn statement, I specifically inquired of you, Mr. Brennan, at the hearing on this matter last week, do any of the 3 categories of documents and data that the Commonwealth seeks by the Rule 17 motion include communications with Mr. Kearney and counsel for the defendant in this case? You replied, no.
No. So he asked him at the first hearing, at the Rule 17 hearing. He's like, I am not looking for messages between Aidan Kearney and Alan Jackson or David Yannetti. I'm not looking for those. Only between Reed and Kearney. Because he can't say David Yannetti because David Yannetti's not charged with murder. So I can't conspire with him to commit witness intimidation. Right? He's not the one on trial. So yeah, like Spanky's own words were, no, I don't want that. But now all of a sudden they want it. Like, it's like, so he goes on.
These would be privileged. So based on these representations and the court's belief that there were no privileged materials implicated by the Commonwealth's motion, I ordered that all communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed during the time frame in question with regard to these 3 articulated categories be produced. However, subsequently, the special prosecutor in Mr. Kearney's case, in possession of the documents in question on March 26, informed the court that 1, there are in fact a substantial number of communications within the documents and data requested that are indeed communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed's counsel. And moreover, the special assistant district attorney in that case took the position, contrary to the one asserted by Attorney Brennan in this case, claiming that those communications are not in fact privileged.
So Brennan said that they were privileged, that he doesn't want those messages between me and her attorneys, which they would not be privileged. They're not my attorneys. But Brennan said that. So he's like, contrary to what he said, because Cosgrove's everything on the drive, the zip drive is between me and Yannetti. There isn't a single message on there between me and Karen Reed because all the shit they found with me and Karen Reed is useless. It's actually bad for them. It's like us sharing Canton Select Board videos of, and we're talking about how great how people are holding these people accountable and stuff like that. And that's a beautiful thing. Okay. You're allowed to say that.
So my order did not specifically exclude from production communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed's counsel because the court was told there were no such communications. And in any event, the Commonwealth acknowledged that they were privileged. So my first question is to you, Attorney Brennan. Respectfully, did I misunderstand you or perhaps vice versa? In other words, I understood that you weren't requesting the production of any privileged communications, to wit, communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed's counsel.
Did I stutter, bitch? Did I stutter? Was there a miscommunication here? I thought I was pretty fucking clear. You can get messages between Reed and Kearney about witness intimidation, and that's all you get. And just because you didn't find any shit in there between them doesn't mean you get to go expanding that and being like, oh, we want the Yannetti messages too, because we're going to take those out of context and use them, because there was a lot more communications in my phone between me and David Yannetti and Alan Jackson than there was between me and Karen Reed. And my messages between them were usually pretty professional. They are smart fucking lawyers who have been around the block a few times. Everything they said was preceded with we take no position on the protest. He's we just to be clear, we are not having anything to do with that. He doesn't include any of that in there. He didn't include everything Yannetti said was off the, can't discuss this. There was really fucking professional. I couldn't get much out of them, to be perfectly honest with you. I could get a lot more out of Karen Reed than I could out of these guys. They were very by the book, very professional gentlemen. But anyway, back to this.
And as such, if that is the case, and we did understand each other, I can simply clarify my order for special ADA Cosgrove that those claimed to be privileged communications will be excluded from the Rule 17 production, and we can move on. If that's not the case, I'd like to hear why.
Sure. May I?
Yes, you may.
May I? He always says, may I? No, you can't.
I think there are two separate issues regarding privilege. One is whether Mr. Kearney's attorneys, Mr. Bederow and Mr. 𝗏𝗏, have privileged communications, and separately, Ms. Reed's attorneys' communications with Mr. Kearney. When Your Honor asked the question, I believe we were referring to Mr. Kearney's attorney. And so what I understood from the motion filings is that there were no privileged communications between Mr. Kearney and his attorney in those phones. And so there would be nothing privileged to protect.
Okay, I specifically asked, does this include communications between Mr. Kearney and counsel for the defendant, Reed?
I don't doubt that you asked that if that is what happened, but that wasn't my answer to the question. Perhaps I was focused more on Mr. Kearney.
So you confirmed today that we misunderstood each other?
Or I misunderstood. I'll take responsibility for it. But I was trying to be protective of the attorney-client privilege between Mr. Kearney and his attorneys, Mr. Bredel and Mr. Bederow.
Yeah, he was really concerned about attorney-client privilege between me and my attorneys, and he just screwed up. He meant to say, oh, I thought you were talking about the messages between Kearney and his lawyers were privileged. I didn't mean between Unetti. I didn't mean to say that. That was an accident. That's my fault. I will take responsibility.
Well, we all agree, counsel, that those in fact would be privileged communications without question. So let's turn to the second issue, which is one that you raised in your affidavit. You specifically raised that question in your affidavit, docket 547.
He's not.
I do not believe there is any attorney-client privilege between Ms. Reed's lawyers and Mr. Kearney, because those communications are not covered by attorney-client privilege because none of Ms. Reed's lawyers are attorneys for Mr. Kearney. I pointed out that in an earlier hearing, and I have the transcript of it, it was December 17, 2024, when there was litigation in Mr. Kearney's case, docket 0313, that there was a position taken by Attorney Bredel.
And this guy needs better suits too. I'm just looking at, it's like, bro, this is not 2003. You know, you look like I watched The Wire now, and I look at some of the suits these guys are wearing. I'm like, damn, this shit was baggy back then, huh? I mean, just look at this guy's sleeve. Look at this fucking, what is going on here, Hanky? You're rich, right? You can afford a better tailored suit than this. This is like fucking sloppy. Like, you see the way Alan Jackson comes to court fresh every hearing. His suits are tailored by the finest fucking whatever, you know, tailor. You know, he's got his watch on, just sharp, man, tight. It's up to date, his style, you know, how he dresses. He looks like this guy's dressing like he's a fucking extra in The Wire from 2003. Just look at him. Look at this fucking suit. Okay, dude, can we look at all that extra bagginess in the arm? It's fucking folding onto itself and shit like that. Like, dude, you're rich, Spanky. You don't have to dress like that. You don't have to dress like a court-appointed attorney. You know, have some goddamn pride. Go get yourself a new, finely tailored suit. Get yourself a stylist like I do. I always look sharp in court. The defendant shouldn't look better than you in court, dude. Not a good look. Not a good look. That's off the rack. Exactly. That's right off the rack for sure.
He began by telling Judge Krupp, well, there's a joint defense issue, Your Honor. And Judge Krupp asked, so it would predate any jeopardy of Mr. Kearney. And then Mr. Bredel responded, well, it's a little more complicated because we know who's under investigation along with Ms. Reed without any resultant charges, so we would contend that does not fall under the umbrella. After more questions by the court, Mr. Bredel answered, we don't have an agreement, but there's been an ongoing long-term implicit mutual assistance and mutual defense that I myself have been part of for a long time, and Attorney Bederow has as well. And Judge Krupp said, I really have no idea what that is. And so inevitably, there was no establishment of an attorney-client relationship between the two. Inevitably, and after that, Attorney Bederow attempted to file an appearance on behalf of Ms. Reed. And in that, there was a supplemental motion, and it's docket 549.
Oh, he's referencing that.
And docket 549 contains Attorney Unetti's sworn statement that there was no joint defense privilege between
I am a
Ms. Reed and Mr.
fashionista.
Kearney.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think I had the assumption there was no attorney-client privilege. If I misspoke, it confused the court. My apologies. But inevitably, there is no attorney-client privilege that I understand exists. And so I do not know what is in these phones. I have not asked. I don't want to know unless it's pursuant to a court order.
What?
Based on the affidavit of the search warrant and based on the pleadings in this case, and there's two very important pleadings. I may have mentioned them to the court on the last date, but those pleadings, which were filed publicly by the Commonwealth, and it's documented.
And can John Jackson close his legs too? I mean, what is with the posture here? By the way, look at this guy laughing. It's like this dude just sitting there spread eagle. Why the fuck is he there? Why is he at a motion hearing for my phone? Like, this is fucking, these guys are such losers. Obviously, Tara Kerrigan's there. Not even freaking John O'Keefe's Mom showed. Peggy O'Keefe's not even there. But this fucking loser with the crotch shot, he makes sure to show up, doesn't he? Yeah.
Number 53 relative to Mr. Kearney's case 0043. In that pleading, it is set out by the Commonwealth's pleading that there is, in fact, information demonstrating that the Reed team provided Mr. Kearney with information, documents, videos. It suggested that at times they would suggest angles for him to use it or to refrain from using it. And it provides a number of examples, including an example on 8/8/23.
See, this is what I mean. So Cosgrove put out that motion specifically so that Spanky could cite it. That was the whole purpose, because Cosgrove never files anything. And we're like, what the fuck? Why is this guy filing shit? He's filing it so that Spanky could reference it. That was the only purpose of doing that, because they're working together.
When they're asking for information, Mr. Kearney, so one of the attorneys.
Attorney Brennan, I'm going to ask you to pause right there, because I think we've reached a point where I have a threshold issue that may require either a Bishop Franklin protocol or some inquiry into the nature of the privilege that may or may not be asserted by Attorney Bredel. And so I think it's appropriate at this time, Attorney Bredel, that I turn to you, not with regard to the protective order, but with regard to the issue of whether your client claims a joint defense agreement and related privilege to communications between himself and attorneys for Ms. Reed, such that I need to limit the scope of my order of March 20th.
Judge, thank you. We do not assert such a privilege. I said in a much different context a long time ago that we had been sharing information and talking to each other and helping each other. And I said that there was an issue. I didn't say there was a privilege.
Okay.
So we are not asserting that. There's no formal agreement. There's no formal privilege. I said it was an issue to be looked at the time. That's all I said, Your Honor. And in terms of this, Your Honor's order, I don't even know why we're talking about this, Your Honor. The ostensible purpose of the Commonwealth's request was to attempt to show consciousness of guilt on the part of Ms. Reed. So why would communications to other parties besides Ms. Reed have any relevance? And in fact, in your order, you just say that the only communications that are on the table here, so to speak, are communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed.
I'll stop you right there, Attorney Bredel, because you raised an excellent point, and that point being
you make an excellent point.
That point from the court's perspective is in an age of group texts and other means of communications with multiple recipients at the same time, we certainly have the likelihood of communications between your client and Ms. Reed that may also include members of her defense team. So
just to be clear, those don't exist. You're free to, if they find them, they can use them. Knock yourself out. You got my full permission. Use any group text you want between me and Karen. Again, Karen Reed's lawyers did not know that I was talking to Karen Reed. That we kept that a secret, actually, because, they would probably be like, that's not a good idea, because look at us now. You know what I mean? But we never disclosed that to our lawyers. It was like they were the parents, you know what I mean? And we were like the kids kind of talking, and we knew mom and dad would say, no, don't, you shouldn't be hanging out with him. We like him, but he's not for you. It's like, we'll talk to him, but you don't need to talk to him. But then you see Karen Reed, she's a talker. She's a chatterbox. And so she wants to talk to me. She's going to talk to me. She's not the type of woman who just is like she has to fucking talk, in case you haven't noticed. She has to defend herself. She has to get her fucking, have her say. And it's a strength and a weakness. Mostly a strength, because she's really good communicator and really smart and knows her case better than anyone. So, it is what it is. Like, I swear to God, like I think I told Alan Jackson once that I'm like, I confessed to him. I'm like, just to let you know, I've been talking to Karen. And he goes, no, like something like that. He's like, no, like he's not fucking stupid. He figured it out. He's not stupid. But it's like, so there's no group text is what I'm saying. Because that would never be approved. That would never have happened. There's absolutely no group text between us.
It is my belief that is what might be at issue, but I will probe further of ADA Cosgrove on that point.
I mean, if you ask me, Your Honor, the pleading, the impounded pleading filed by Mr. Cosgrove is completely immaterial. The whole reason for this is consciousness of guilt. So there are absolutely, we're privy to these extractions. There's absolutely nothing in them that is covered by Your Honor's order.
Nothing.
There's no communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed regarding witness intimidation. There are none. So there should be exactly zero documents or texts or emails that should be responsive here.
And to be clear, there's we've been over this a million times. people like, I fail to see what the problem is between you and Karen speaking to each other. Exactly. There is no problem. There's literally nothing. There's not like this. I can't believe we are living in a world where they are trying to criminalize a reporter talking to a criminal defendant about a story he's writing about her case. That's crazy. So that, again, the whole purpose of charging me with these crimes was to make it seem like, oh, well, he's a criminal because he's been charged. I haven't been convicted of anything and never will, but he's been charged with witness intimidation and you're talking to him. So that's a bad look. That's the whole point of charging me, was to hurt her through association. That's all it was.
Absolutely zero. And I don't, I don't have the thumb drive that Mr. Cosgrove gave to the court ex parte. So I can only imagine what's in that. And we are anticipating a request that you will look at that, to ask you to look at that in camera and see if that complies with the order. It doesn't, it cannot comply with the order. Your order said Kearney and Reed, not third parties that may or may not have spoken to Reed. And
right. These
are things that are privileged among that team. So this is a can of worms that the court did not open by any stretch. And I think that, Mr. Cosgrove's role here is completely ministerial, Your Honor. And the fact that he's trying to jump outside of your order is incredibly inappropriate, in particular because these two prosecutors are in different positions due to a conflict of interest, an expressed conflict of interest that has been identified and supposedly acted on by District Attorney Michael Morrissey. So their communications need to be limited because there is a conflict. Your Honor limited those communications very appropriately to potential evidence that those two defendants could have communicated in terms of some criminal acts. And we're telling you there's nothing there. We don't expect you to rely on our interpretation, but there is nothing there relative to your order.
Thank you. Attorney Brady, I'm gonna ask you to pause for a moment, and I'm gonna hear from Special Assistant District Attorney Cosgrove.
Ah, here you go.
Specifically with
here
regard
he goes.
to this issue. In your communication to the court, you suggested that in your judgment, the production would sweep in a substantial number of communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed's attorneys. How would those be swept in when the order specifically calls for communications between Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed?
So this is the ultimate question, because this guy all of a sudden wants to add No, we also want messages between David Yannetti and Aidan Kearney to be added as well, not just between Reed and he's like, so why, what? And the answer to the question is that we couldn't find anything between him and the shit with him and Karen Reed was useless. Fucking useless. So I guess we're just gonna add some shit with the lawyers then. Listen to this fucking explanation. This was hilarious.
I think the actions of Ms. Reed's attorneys on her behalf are the actions of Ms. Reed.
I think the actions of Miss Reed's attorneys on her behalf are the actions of Miss Reed. Nope. No, this guy's got nut. I can't believe this motherfucker took this case. He knows that's not how it works. He was a fucking judge. No, David Yannetti does not speak for Karen Reed, you dipshit. Like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Exactly. Sit down. Like, he actually said this. That didn't fly with the judge.
And if one reads the sweep of the communications between Mr. Yannetti and Mr. Kearney, and between Mr. Jackson and Mr. Kearney and Ms. Reed and Mr. Kearney, one sees a pattern of feeding information to Mr. Kearney. I think that they act together in that respect, Your Honor.
Thank you, Attorney Cosgrove. Notwithstanding that position, the court's position is that the order spoke very specifically and very clearly to limit the Rule 17 motion to the production of only communications between Defendant Reed and Kearney and Defendant Kearney concerning those three areas of inquiry. So I am specifically requesting and ordering the Commonwealth in that case to review the documents called as a result of the Rule 17 motion in my subsequent order, such that the production will only include communications between Kearney and Reed.
Only. Look at that face he just made. This is the best face. Like, this is the did I stutter thing. Look at the hand gesture. Ready?
Only include communications between Kearney and Reed.
There it is. There it is. There it is. That's a meme. This guy's just like, what the fuck? This is the what the fuck, bro. Like, what the fuck, bro? That's what that is right there. That's Judge 𝗃𝗃𝗃 saying, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I specifically said in the order, only shit between the defendant and Miss Reed. And you, did I stutter? Did I stutter? Okay.
Well, I will, of course, comply with Your Honor's order.
I think we've covered
Thank
that
you.
point, and I
Thank
don't
you.
think I need to hear any further on this. The order is clear on its face, and I expect the parties to comply with it. I'd like to turn now to the issue of the motion for protective order.
All right. Yeah. So that's dope. Yeah. The protective order is just standard too. You know, we just wanted it out there that they have a history of leaking shit through their sources. So, you know, we wanted them to, if you're going to deny putting this shit out there, right? That you have nothing, you're not leaking anything to 𝗺𝗄𝗃 panties, right? We wanted that in the court filings. Oh, deny it. Stand up in court and deny it, Spanky, if you will. Because we're going to find out. Because now we've got him committed to this. Because he specifically says, I don't know anything about 𝗺𝗃𝗃 panties. No. We would never do that. No, we're not like them. I get paid in drug money, cash under the table. Yeah, but besides that, I'm very reputable. Yeah. Right. Okay. So anyway, so all I got to say about that, we won. Obviously, that all I said was after was the, well, that went well. That went well. Good job, Spanky. Don't think that worked out the way he planned. Another humiliating loss for Spanky. This motherfucker's quest to get Karen Reed, he is trying everything. Maybe we'll get into Turtleboy's phone and get his messages. No. Oh, okay. Oh, we got a Rule 17 that lets us get all the messages between her and me and Karen Reed and Turtleboy. Okay, cool. Let me call my buddy 𝗁𝗂𝗄𝗃 up. Hey, 𝗁𝗂𝗃, any do you have any good messages between Turtleboy and Karen Reed? Well, actually, it appears as if their messages actually do the exact opposite. That Mr. Kearney's messages to Miss Reed indicate that Miss Reed believes that Michael Proctor is actually a really shitty person, and that's kind of been confirmed. So we probably don't want those messages out there. We don't want those messages out there. So, okay, well, what can we do? Well, maybe we can we get the ones with Yannetti? Oh, those are a little bit more, you know, he sucks his dick a little bit. You know, he's really, you know, he's being really nice. He's a little overly, he really likes his YouTube presentations. So we can put that out there. Maybe we can say that liking the YouTube presentations is approving of the witness intimidation. I can use that. I can roll with that. Yeah, that works. Yeah, then we'll get all the communications. Yeah, we'll get all the communications. And then the motherfucker got bitch slapped in court. The judge said, sit down, motherfucker. Did I stutter? Did I stutter? What part of my fucking order was unclear? And Cosgrove had to be, okay, sure, you're on. They got him. Fucked. Absolutely fucked these people. Nothing. This dude tries this a week before the trial is supposed to start. This is what he's doing. Fishing. Got anything? Nope. Let's try fishing again. Nope, nothing there. They got nothing. They got nothing on Karen Reed. This is how fucking desperate they are to get her. This is the hole that they're going down. Done. Dunsky. Karen Reed's been smacking this motherfucker around all the time. So we wanted to come over to my case. Hank Brennan wanted to come over to my case. And he could get some there too. He's been bitch slapped by us now too. Take a seat. Guess who's not here to bail your ass out this time? Auntie Bev. She's not around to bail your ass out. Get fucked, Spanky. Go back to doing what you're doing. You're way better off You're way better off when you're representing murderers and drug dealers and taking $20,000 cash payment under the table. All right. So there you go. Okay, cool. Let me read some turtle chats. Okay. All right. The turtle sends $10, goes, good evening, Uncle Tortoise. I hope the defense breaks this case wide open. The second trial is going to be like watching a movie and notice a bunch of things you missed the first time around. Do you think Easter will be able to testify? He would be a huge problem for the Commonwealth. Yes, I do. Because Auntie Bev is gutless. We have yet to see her turn down a single witness, have we? Not one. So why would she start with him? The only person she's turned down is Bederow. That's it. So I don't see how any judge would or how she would, any witness or expert would be banned. So thank you. Emilio sends $10, goes, there is semen everywhere now. You crack me up. Let's hope we get justice this time around. Love from New York. Keep the good fight, Turtleboy. Keep fighting the good fight. Someone has to. Well, thank you, Emilio. Amanda sends $20, goes, Turtleboy, who actually decides if you cannot sit in the courtroom? I believe that would be Auntie Bev. I got so annoyed seeing those retards say you won't be in there. Serious case of Turtleboy derangement syndrome in full effect. She's not afraid to keep me out. She did that the first trial. But we're dealing with it. We're going to have something coming hopefully tomorrow about getting me in that courtroom. All right. Because we know what they're trying to do here. We know what they're trying to do. Okay. Next up. Alicia sends $10, goes, you're doing great. Thank you. Kudos to you. Did you catch Jen McCabe say on the stand, I never deleted a message at 2:23, not 2:27. She can't keep the liar. I didn't pick up on that, Alicia, but I'll take your word for it. Thank you. Rosaline sends $10, goes, Dr. Turtleboy, I'm in awe of your strength and Karen's throughout this nightmare. I pray this ends for you both soon. In your opinion, based on the phone activity, do you think John was attacked within minutes of entering the house? I don't even think he was attacked. I think he got in a fight. I'm perfectly honest with you. But an attack seems like he's just a helpless victim. John was 6'2", 220 pounds. He was drunk. Okay. From all accounts, he's not the typical guy that goes around fighting. But if some fat fuck like Brian Higgins wants to get some, I don't think John O'Keefe's going to back down. I don't think he's afraid of some fat fuck Brian Higgins. But one-on-one, yeah. Once it turns into 3-on-1, if Brian Albert gets involved, if Colin Albert gets involved, if the dog gets involved, something like that happens. Don't disrespect my boy Higgins. That's my dog. That's my trigger right there, dude. That's my trigger Higgins. Can't be fucking with my trigger Higgins. You disrespecting him? Yo, he's trying to fuck your girl, son. Yo, give Higgins a taste. Give him a taste, dog. Come on, bro. You can't be hogging that shit, dog. That's what maybe Brian, it's like, nah, he didn't say those exact words. But who the fuck knows? Who the fuck knows? Something. I don't think it was like, I don't buy the theory that they brought him there and they're like, we're going to fucking, all right, here he goes. We're going to get him in here, guys. As soon as he walks in the door, Higgins is going to get him from behind, and then we're going to trip him, then we're going to beat the fuck out of him. I think he stumbled in there shit-faced. Higgins is shit-faced. The last time we saw them at the waterfall, Higgins is yelling shit at him. And, that he just walked in there, and I think Higgins wanted to confront him. And I think Brian Albert's going to have Higgins back because that's his trigger. And he's like, that's my trigger right there. You cannot disrespect my trigger in my house. Especially, I don't know this other trigger over here, John O'Keefe, but that's my trigger right there. Brian Higgins. And Brian Albert's not going to allow that shit to happen. Exactly, Rich. It's just a hostile environment. He walked into a hostile environment, drunk. And, he's a big boy. He's going to defend himself. He's a cop. And, but you can't take that many people down. Everybody's drunk. That's all that happened, you know? So that's it. All right. Next up, Steve from Middle County Vargas sends $20 and goes, can the defense ask the people at the waterfall if Higgins ever showed concern or even mentioned needing to head over to the police department to move cars that night? It's a good point. That's a good question. I like that question. We also need to know, we all know if he had a friend out drinking who needed to go to the office at 1 a.m. to move cars, they'd be bitching about it all night. It's a great point. The defense should ask, just to highlight to the jury, how he made that story up. Yeah, I mean, his whole story is made up and all that stuff, but I think a better question to ask Brian Higgins, which he was not asked about, if I recall, was like, what were you yelling at there in that video? Like, what were you yelling at? And like, I hope they honestly ask him, how wild would that be if they ask him, sir, do you go by any aliases? Are you familiar with the program called the JFK show? I believe it's 39,000 feet above your heads. They cruise at. Have you ever watched that show, sir? What did you ever pretend to be someone named Kevin from South Boston? Does that ring a bell to you, sir? And I'm fucking serious. I'm fucking serious about this shit. Play the clip. Play the clip. You wrong. Play that clip for the jury to hear. Because if he denies that shit, and then you play that clip, the jury's going to be like, that's fucking Higgins. You're fucking Higgins, bro. This is Higgins. They're going to be like, yeah, you're Higgins. Like, I mean, you're wrong. You're wrong. Play the clip. And if he lies on the stand about that, they're going to assume everything he's saying is lying. They're like, bro, that's clearly you. You're a decorated dude, are you not? Like, come on. So somebody else just called up and you're to honor what? So this is the kind of guy you are, Higgins. You're the kind of guy who's so insecure and worried that you watch random YouTube shows and just are like, this is what you do. And then you call in to defend your honor because no one else will defend you. Dude, play the clip. Play it. I'm serious. Play that fucking clip. You wrong. Play that clip. And do I have it? Hold on.
You wrong. Is this Higgins? Is this Higgins? You wrong. You wrong. Is this Higgins? Is this Higgins? You wrong.
That never gets old. How wild would that be if they played that? How wild would that be if they actually played that in court? Which I think, I'm serious. They should. I hope they are. Okay. Next up. They can have so much fun with these people this time around. It's going to be way better. All right. Ann Merritt sends $5, goes, Mr. Dr. Turtleboy, keep up exposing corruption. No one pokes the turtle. It's ill-advised, and I'll tell you that much. Thank you. KK sends $25, goes, okay, 3 questions I'd like to hear your thoughts on. If the ground was rock hard, wouldn't John's blood pool around him and not be able to seep into the ground? Okay. Sorry, I can't do the questions about the blood anymore. I've literally been over 1,000 times. Yes, but what you're saying is true. Okay. Number 2, has Lank's wife been asked about the driveway visit? No. I'd love to see her on the stand questioned about this. Well, you're not going to be because she's not on either witness list. Number 3, JM said he went in the house on the 911 call. Why do you think this isn't focused on more? I'm not sure. So thanks, Doc. You're the reason we're all here. Well, I appreciate that very much, KK. Sorry, I don't have better answers for you. Amanda sends $20, goes, Turtleboy, let me know. I know you will tell me the truth. So if I fly out to your event from Chicago, would that be cringe since I don't know anyone? I really just want to support you and the movement, but wanted to get your opinion. Do I come or just stream? Amanda says. I don't think that's cringe at all. to be honest. I mean, I met so many people outside the courthouse who were from all over the country, in the world, really. And they didn't know anyone. Some people just came here and got a hotel, and that's definitely not cringe. I say no cringe whatsoever. You're more than welcome. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to dedicate that much. I'm a busy guy at these events, so I won't be able to like show you around town or anything like that. So don't expect too much, but I'd be happy to meet you. Definitely not cringe. Definitely not cringe. Next up, Kimberly sends, let's see. Kimberly sends $50 and goes, "Thank you, doctor. You are one of a kind to sacrifice yourself for justice." That wasn't the plan. I think it's amazing. Justice for John and free Karen Reed. I didn't intend to sacrifice myself. I went to jail. I didn't know I was going to be charged with witness intimidation. I didn't know I was going to go to jail for this shit. I didn't know any of that shit was going to happen. So I didn't do it on purpose. But thank you very much, Kimberly. I appreciate that anyway. Amy sends $10, goes, "Franklin, Mass standout was incredible to be a part of. You are amazing. Never change. It is fun being at these things. It's alive. You're around great people, talking, having a good time. It's awesome. I love it. And I'm glad to see Franklin, which is in Norfolk County, had a standout today. Sarah sends $20, goes, "Free Turtleboy and free Karen Reed." Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Susan sends $5 and goes, "Sorry, I'm unable to do more." Susan, never apologize. Everything helps. Thank you very much, ma'am. Emily sends $5, goes, "Paul O'Keefe is a big Signal fan, aka the finger to the chin and blue shirt. I bet he wishes he used the actual Signal app when he was talking to his virtual mistress." I know. Amanda, let's see. No, I already read that one. Courtney sends $10, goes, "Show's almost getting too big for you to read every single dono." I know. Congrats on having such a good problem. We love you, Daddy. Well, thank you, Courtney. I know it's a good problem to have, I suppose. But the donos do stimulate conversation. It's not like I'm just reading them and they're pointless. Some are better than others, but I think they get me going and on tangents, and there's always something to talk about. Nobody's ever bored. Like, it's fucking 11:43 on a Sunday night. There's 8,300 people watching this shit, watching me read donos. So it's not just like, "Hey, you're fucking awesome, Turtle Boy. I fucking love your shit, dog. Fucking hashtag free my boy." Like, it's not just, there's actual stimulating conversations here that we can have. And that's just what I do. So thank you very much for that one, Courtney. Bob sends $25 and goes, "Turtle Boy, you are a satirist, a brilliant humorist, a writer." Oh, I guess there is one. Okay. "A journalist, a superb investigator, a wordsmith, and you have added funny vocabulary to the language. You are a modern day Mark Twain and a national treasure." Well, thank you, Bob. But it's kind of ironic that you send that after I just said that I don't just get messages like that, but I appreciate it. I am like a Mark Twain, very much so. Thank you. Except that I don't publish fiction. I'm a nonfiction guy, Next up, Mary sends $100. Thank you, Mary, and says, "I live in Central Mass." Me too. "And happy tonight to see more events in the area. Looking forward to seeing everyone at Trivia in Spencer. Thank you, Doctor, for exposing the corruption. I will continue to support you and Karen Reed. Shout out to my friend Carrie, who I met at the waterfall." Well, thank you very much, Mary. Brit Happens, my dog, sends $10, goes, "Doc, happy National Standout Day. It felt good to start a standout and bring awareness to my home state of Florida." Oh, you live in Florida? I didn't even know that. "Do you think Proctor will flip now that they have made a patsy out of him?" No, I don't think Proctor flip. And why would he do that? Proctor got away with federal crimes that could put him in jail for like decades. He got away with it, outright corruption. So why would he ever open himself up? Yeah, I'm sure he's bitter that he's the only one that is suffering serious financial harm as a result of this, but it's better than going to jail, isn't it? If you're Proctor, so you just got to take the L. You know what I mean? You just got to take the L on that one. Sure, it would be nice. I'm sure he could flip on all of them and be like, "Here's what happened. Those motherfuckers killed John O'Keefe, and I covered it all up and planted taillight." Okay, well, now you're arrested too. Like, he wouldn't do that because he's literally gotten away with covering up a murder. So, you know, it sucks. I mean, I'm sure part of him is mad that he's the only one that took the fall for this. But, you know, motherfucker got busted by his own text messages, so he only has that to blame. Like, bro, like, come on. Seriously. This one is from Andrew. Sends $100. Thank you, Andrew, and says, "Hi, Unc. To me, this case is simple. John O'Keefe seems sober and fit. So if she reversed from 60 feet away, his instincts as a cop would have kicked in and he would have moved. If he was right behind the car and got hit, why keep going for 60 feet?" Yeah, I mean, the best part about the 60 feet thing is that it starts halfway in front of the Asian house. So I don't remember any witness saying, "Oh yeah, she was parked in front of the Asian house," which the defense should probably point out that, like, where is 62 feet from there? Well, 62 feet would bring you to right here. They should use my fucking tape. They should use my tape. Just don't call me as a witness. Just don't call me as a witness. I don't want to be a witness because I need to cover this case. So it's such a dumb rule. Thank you very much, Andrew. Patrick sends $5, goes, "Karen Reed trial branding the best." Oh, I already read that one. Thank you, Patrick. All right. What else we got here for Turtle Chats? Refresh. Okay. Okay. Heidi sends $100. Woo! Thanks, Heidi, and says, "I absolutely love you, Dr. Turtleboy. I love you for using my pronouns. Thank you for everything you do. Sending love and support from Southern California. You are the best, Heidi." Well, thank you very much, Heidi. I graciously appreciate that, and I'm glad you like my YouTube presentation here, as Cosgrove calls it. Next up, AJ's well-lubricated door knock sends $10 and goes, "Maine does not want them here. Advice on how to legally encourage them to go back home." Talk about the Alberts. "All I can think of is to try to organize a protest and a standout, but I'm no Dr. Turtleboy, or is it? I will certainly not be giving any advice on how to protest any witnesses in the Karen Reed case." So thank you for the dono. Britt Happens sends $5 and goes, "By the way, will you please weigh in on this whole super chat drama against Brian LTL, also known as BLT? I was so taken back by what I'm hearing. I didn't follow it that much. I saw that Bederow made a statement, which I have not talked to him about because I just don't care. And I don't really want to get into it, that he's not going on any shows in which people are paid, that people have to pay to ask questions. Right. So that's his new, because I guess, I don't know if it's I don't care what his reasoning is. He's a grown ass man. Everything he does is for a reason. I don't care what his reasoning is. And if that's what he wants to do, then that's his prerogative, period. So, I can't say that I'm anti, like, people paying to ask questions to the guest, because people paid for the privilege of asking Ronnie the juror questions. That happened on my program. Because otherwise I would have gotten a million fucking questions. So it's a way to kind of weed it out. If you do it the turtle chat way. But at the same time, I get where Bederow's coming from, because let's be honest, folks. Having Bederow on your show is cash money. It fucking is, period. Right? He is the only one that could beat me in the ratings. Like, I lose to the young jerks when he's on there. Like, if Bederow is on any show, it's going to get record ratings. Okay? Period. Because everyone wants to hear what that guy has to say about everything, because he's wicked smart. And he's like so matter of fact about it. And it's like everybody is enthralled by Bederow. Okay? And so him being on there, and you're going to make more money, you got more people, you're going to make more money. So I'm not speaking for him or anything, but I don't know. Maybe that's not what he's about. You know, as far as BLT goes, I know people were specifically calling him out for this. And somebody had kind of screen capped one where, you know, somebody, one of his mods posted that if you send a super chat in, we will ask Bederow a question. And so they were like, oh, BLT's doing it, you know. I don't have whatever, you know, if Bederow says he's uncomfortable with that, he was not specifically calling out BLT. Like, he's been on multiple shows where this has happened. So he was not specifically calling BLT out, to be very clear. Free BLT. BLT has donated and used his platform to raise significant amounts of money for both Karen Reed and myself. And he did it on my channel when I was in jail. And I'll always appreciate and be thankful for him for that. Okay. And I realized that everybody's into different shit. Okay. Some people are into 𝗵𝗲𝗺𝗺. Some people are into Young Jerks. Some people are into BLT. Okay. Some people are into Nurse Kim. Some people are into Auntie Deb. People are into different shit. And some people aren't into certain people. And we're like, I don't really find this person's show interesting or compelling or whatever. And that's fine, because this is America. You don't have to like, as long as you like me, that's all I care about. But if, you know, if there's others that you're not that into, that's fine. Okay. And guess what? Also, you're free to share that opinion online, because as content creators, you know, putting ourselves out there, you got to be able to take it. You know, you got to be able to say, well, this person, you know, like somebody had posted on there that like BLT was, oh, they don't like his show, whatever. But guess what? He's a grown ass man. He can take that. That's part of the game. It's critics. You know what I mean? Not everyone is going to like your shit. Not everyone's going to find you interesting. And people have a right in America to voice their opinions on shit. He can take it. He can handle it. Everyone can handle it. You know what I mean? I can handle it. If people don't like my show, go fuck yourself. You know, I don't hear that very often, but when I do, it's like, go fuck yourself. So there's that, you know? Okay. Anyway, next up, Susan sends $10 and goes, no comment, take the money. That's my girl. Thank you very much. Leezy sends $10, goes, just watching A Body in the Snow, episode 3. Lieutenant O'Hara is interviewed and says he was called by Proctor and told that since John O'Keefe was hit by a motor vehicle, CERT should be looking for red taillight and a missing sneaker. Complete evidence that it was planted by Proctor. I mean, I wouldn't say that's complete evidence, but it is interesting that he called ahead and specifically said, you know, look out for this. Oh, and lo and behold, it revealed itself. Thank you. Tall Mike sends $5, goes, no one other than Karen Reed has been charged in connection with the death of John O'Keefe. So we have a troll here. Tall Mike says this. Thank you for the $5, sir. I appreciate that. And you're absolutely fucking right. And therein lies the problem. These people think that's like an own. It's like, that's the whole fucking point of what we're doing, dipshit, is no one else has been charged because they're corrupt. We think they should be. And they would be if a proper investigation was conducted. And if a proper investigation was conducted, and it turns out Karen Reed did do this, which would be very hard because the laws of physics would have to cease from existing on Brian Albert's front lawn, then there would be no question. There would be no free Karen Reed movement if an investigation was conducted and it turns out she did it. The problem is that it wasn't. There was no proper investigation. And as a result of this, they pinned it on the girl and there wasn't much evidence at all. So you're right. Good comment, dipshit. That's all they have. Jeff sends $10, goes, 78% woman audience. Bitches be tripping. Dr. Turtleboy. Yes, bitches do be tripping. 79%, actually. 5,400 votes are in, and 79% of you are female. I don't know what that means, but thank you for being here. Kimberly sends $10 and goes, have you watched Boozy Beauty's short on the timeline of when John O'Keefe turned his phone off at 32 minutes? Karen couldn't have hit him and got into his house by 12:36. Well, yeah, I mean, we've been over that in detail. A lot of people have talked about that. Yeah, like that. If she hit him at 12:32, she couldn't have been back by 12:36. I didn't see that video you're speaking of, but I think that's been pretty well documented that that's clearly not true, that she did not drive 55 miles an hour back in a snowstorm and get back there for that. So thank you very much. Okay, next up. Lisa sends $25, goes, Doctor, it's Lisa from Kansas City that loves you more than the Chiefs. Whew. Please send the hardest working mom, Jessica, the happiest birthday in sunny Florida. She does it all for everyone. She deserves a vacation to Massachusetts in May. Thank you. Come on up to Massachusetts there. Happy birthday to Jessica, the mom from sunny Florida. Thank you. Montino sends $5, goes, I was watching the HBO doc and Karen said they never got John's autopsy photo showing his arm until May, which I did not know. Interesting point on that. So Karen Reed did not get the autopsy photos until May. So question, how the fuck did Steve Scanlon know what the injuries looked like in February? How about that one? How about that one? Steve Scanlon came to them. It's like, he told me that the autopsy photos it just didn't seem right. How the fuck did he see the autopsy photos? They weren't out. How the fuck did he knew? He knew. That's how. Brian Albert also rehomed Chloe in May. I guess that's just a coincidence. Correct. A lot of coincidences. Keep being you. I love when you go hard and rant. I love when I go hard too. So thank you very much for that one, Montino. Jen sends $10, goes, can you imagine Spanky listening to this tonight? He thinks he's getting info on you and gets his walk down memory lane instead. I know. He's like, fuck. How do you find that? How do you find that? Ah, man, that's the old days. I don't do that anymore. I get paid much more now. Cash only still is an option, but you know, is what it is. Next up. Rebecca sends $8 and goes, slimy, grimy Spanky. No one wants to hear you. All I do is whine and scream corruption. Also, there is the fact that Karen connected to John's Wi-Fi at 12:36. So at the absolute latest left at 12:30. And that was before that because it was snowing and bad out and John's phone was shut off with the power button on the side at 12:31. Karen and Turtleboy are innocent. Free Karen Reed and free Turtleboy now. Agreed. Everything said, Rebecca. Thank you. MK sends $10, goes, I think they should focus more on the text from Proctor that said, no chance she skates, she's fucked. I think they did. That makes it seem more likely that he would plant taillight to make sure of that. Definitely. But they can talk their way out of that one too. They can be like, well, we mean that the evidence was so overwhelming that she's fucked. Yeah, sure it does. All right. The turtle, sends $10 and goes, I just realized, how are there pieces of taillight 7 to 8 feet on the front lawn next to John's body? If she backed onto their lawn, there would absolutely be tire marks. Nobody's talking about this because nobody's alleging that she backed onto the lawn. They said that she cut the wheel at the last second because the road is curved because she's a fucking NASCAR driver that can just go 24 miles in reverse in the snow and just cut it at the right time so as not to go on Brian Albert's precious lawn. So there's that. Okay. Let me read some Cash Apps here. Sylvia sends $60. Thank you, Sylvia, and says, Dr. Turtleboy, keep up the good fight. Just for you, Sylvia, I'm going to keep going. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Denise sends $10 and goes, if you could interview one person, who would it be? Oh, simple. Karen Reed. She'd be the first person I would interview when this is all said and done. And I will. Thank you very much, Denise. Jennifer sends $9 and goes, my zero didn't stick, LOL. Oh, sorry. She was the one that donated $1. So let me go back and read hers. She said earlier on. She meant to donate 10. She didn't put the 0 and said, "What are you drinking?" Hashtag free Karen Reed. I always have 2 drinks with me every show. I got my iced coffee in whatever cup I have. This is but if you go to Celtics games, whatever, get upgrade. Get it's like the throwaway cups are like $9 for a soda. This is like 12, okay? And the utility I got out of this is worth it. Like the more I use it all the time, I always drink it on the show. So there's that. And then out of my bigger one, sometimes I have a Stanley. It's in the wash though. And it was sitting in the dishwasher. And it's like one of those, the dishwasher has it completely filled. So I have been using this one last couple shows. I put my water. So I have water and iced coffee. That's what I do. All right, next up. And by the way, how about them Celtics? They're on fire going into the playoffs. And the Cavs are back to earth. They're not who they pretended to be for the first 60 games of the season. They are falling apart in front. It's going to be Celtics Thunder. It's like the most guaranteed finals ever. And that's actually a good matchup because like SGA is a fucking winner. That guy's a winner and he's going to be a problem because that's an athletic team. Him and Jalen Williams, that's an athletic team. We beat the Mavericks last year because they were fat. Luke is too fat to win a championship. You can't be that fat and win a championship. You just can't. Because it's like she's a good offensive player, but defensively, he's too fat. SGA is like a great defender. So they're going to be a problem. And they will win the West with their eyes closed. I have no doubt about it. But, it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good final. Celtics Thunder. We'll see what happens. All right, next up. Lisa sends $10 and says, "I hope to meet you and others when I come to Mass." You'll definitely meet me, Lisa, especially if you come to the courthouse. That's like a guarantee. I will be there. So thank you very, very much for your generous dono there. Okay. Let me just refresh to make sure I didn't miss anyone. Michael sends $10 and goes, "Have you seen the tow truck video on Samantha Bigno? I don't know who that is. I don't belong here. Shows a 3-point turn and reverse spinning. Commonwealth has no case." I have no idea what any of that means, but thank you. I agree with you that the Commonwealth has no case. Susan sends $5 and says, "Sorry, I can't do more." Susan, you said $5 earlier and said the same thing. You did plenty. You did plenty. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right. Another Cash App here. Sends $10 from Denise and says, "I mean question on the stand, not McCunt." Oh, if I could question. Oh, if I could cross-examine anyone on the stand. I mean, Jennifer McCabe's an easy answer. But, who would I pick to really dig into? I don't know. It's a good question. Because Jennifer McCabe's just going to lie and just be like, the date, I guess, maybe Colin Albert or Allie McCabe, one of them. They might be weaker. Higgy would be a good one too, but it's like, or Tully, Tully actually. Tully would be a good one. I think he would be a really good one. One of them. That's a good question. I like that question. Thank you. Lori sends $5 and goes, "Will behind the scenes help Hank with defense strategy?" Okay. Thank you, Lori. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate that. Casey sends $5 and goes, "Doc, can public go see jury selection in person?" Last year, they let people in towards the end of jury selection because the jurors sit in the rows. So there's no space for anyone else in the courtroom. But as the jurors go away, and there's like 10 jurors left, then they finally let people in. But by then, it's fucking pretty much over. So the answer is Short answer, yes. Long answer, no. Thank you. Christy sends $10 and goes, what do you think they would alleged killed John had Karen not backed up into his car and broke her taillight? That's $1 million question. What have been the murder weapon then? Love you, Turtleboy. I think they still would. I mean, they don't need a broken taillight to say that she hit him with the car, right? They can just, I think they were just going to make it seem like, oh, she knocked him down, you know? Not maybe she just fucking tapped into him, and he was drunk and he fell over, and next thing you know, he's dead. You know, hypothermia. He's fucking shit faced, you know, something like that. I think that was the plan. Because you're right. I mean, what luck with the taillight? That worked. That was my first question to them that night. Was like, how the fuck did the taillight get broken? And then Natalie sent me the video of her backing into John's car, and I'm like, oh, see, they have an answer for fucking everything, you know. Not that Lindsay sends $10 and goes, this is not that Lindsay. She says, this has been my point to the trolls and Officer 𝗿𝗄𝗄𝗆's family. They should be mad at the investigators and in the investigation, not Karen. Exactly. But instead, Paul 𝗿𝗄𝗆's going on TV making excuses for Michael Proctor. So you get what you get, you know. Maybe Paul 𝗿𝗄𝗆 doesn't deserve justice. I mean, if he doesn't want it that bad, maybe he doesn't fucking deserve it, you know. All right, cool. Anything else anyone else got anything to say before we call it a night? We end this YouTube presentation. Not that Lindsay. Oh, different. There she is. Okay. Will Lally say a word in trial too? That's great. No, there should be like a over under on how many words Lally will say during the entire trial. 0.5 is the over under, right? Like, will he say one or not? Like, that's what you have to bet on. That's a weird request. What? You don't want, you can Google it. It comes up. Just several trolls have it on their Twitter avatars, which is fucking bizarre, but to each their own. Great. I'm glad you enjoyed the presentation. Do it. I'm glad you enjoy it. The presentation. All right, cool. Well, you know what? I am going to call it a night because it's getting late and tomorrow's a school day. So I'll be back getting the kids on the bus tomorrow. And then guess what? Trial starting Tuesday, baby. Hopefully we'll see some of you guys at opening day in Dedham at Superior Court. We'll be going live later that night, but we'll have a lot to say, baby. It never ends. So stay tuned. And thank you guys for being on here. Over 21,000 people have already tuned into this show. Still 7,600 people watching on YouTube, 14,000 on Twitter. And just love all you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed my presentation and you guys have a great night and brush your teeth. Okay. Peace to you, bum crease.
It calls for data including calendars, alerts, reminders, notes, text messages, pictures, or videos from April 1st, 2023 through and including October 5th, 2023. 7 months.